Hello everybody, here we go again. Sunday Adelaja here, and we continue the topic for this week. So welcome everyone. Who do we welcome first? Lola Shorunke, how is California? You're the first one today. Welcome. Alewu Okwa, God bless. Welcome. Justin Manyo, welcome on board. Ludovic, welcome. Rochelle White, how is New Zealand? Andrew Shegun, Mashu Esong, Damilare, Bola Duro, David Otori, Ola Martin, Femi Ige, Nosa Fero, Shimaife, Prince Paul, Kazim Ahmed, Emmanuel Paul, Paul Eric, Ufuoma, Ragu, Feli, Nkem, Edma, Adedeji, Jake Oki, Ronke, Oyetayo, Ale in Paradise, Makarit, Adedeji Kola, Amedoze, Ahmed, David Otori. You sent me a message, I did not reply. Well, everybody, I'm sorry for the lateness. Internet. Good evening, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here again. We are still talking about calling. So we're going to continue our lesson today on calling. So who's going to be the first person welcoming us today? Who are we? Akinyemi Adebayo, welcome. Jigem Eric, welcome. Rochelle White, welcome. Victor Gundikwe Mashu Esong, welcome. Lola Shorinke, Neki Okoro, Delis Didi, Adeleke Adeniyi, Bola Luro, Elizabeth Ali, welcome everyone. Lanon Adebayo, Nobu Kingsley, welcome. Mike Borge. No, words of Zachary. Ade Dokun, Ade Basil Elibo, Jacob Saleh, hi. Apia Joshua, welcome. Paul Eric, Sine Zachary, Minister Talker, Lilia Bezik, Ushe Anishe, Opute Ben, Maraizu Ikeshuku, Esther Kuganja, Oluwatoyi, Adedoko, Sine, where is across Sine, Sheik, Anya. Well, welcome everybody. Okay, let me welcome a few more people here. Laurie Jerome, Charles Smith, Ufoma. Well, welcome. Well, please, let's go ahead and look for our share button. Please go and look for your share button. Let's look for our share button, okay? Go look for your share button and we'll be ready to go for today. So let's go and share the link. Please go ahead and share this link. Yep, let's do that as fast as possible. And the topic of today is combining your calling with your passion. Combining your calling with your passion. One day I will also speak about combining your calling with your income, with your money, with your income, with your financial freedom. But today is going to be combining your calling and your passion. And I want us to listen to the story of another young man who is also a medical student in Ukraine, but this time medicine, he actually has passion for medicine. Medicine is his calling. He sees medicine as his calling. But apart from medicine, he has other passions. So what do you do when you know you have passion for something, but apart from that main passion, you still have other passions as well? So what do you do in that kind of situation? That's what we want to deal with today. So how do you combine your calling, which is your fundamental passion, your primary passion, with other passion that you may have? Let me introduce to you the young man that is here with me today. Okay, Samuel, will you introduce yourself, sir?
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Sam Uweye, and I'm from Nigeria. I'm a medical student. I'm almost done with my medical school. I will be going to 6th course. I'm studying in Ukraine. Thank you.
So now I'm talking about this topic today, and I want to use you as an example of somebody that has recognized medicine as his main calling. How did you discover that medicine is your main calling?
All right, thank you. Sorry, thank you, sir. Actually, for me, I said medicine is my calling because of things that I've found about calling. Like, okay, what is calling to start with?
Okay.
Calling is what you do to fulfill your purpose.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, to a lot of us, when we say calling as maybe what you do in church, or maybe like a pastor or your evangelist or something religious or something about God, or, you know, spiritual.
Right.
But for me, calling is, like I said, what you do to fulfill God's purpose on earth.
Right.
So it can be, you know, about your career. It can be, let me say, like, it can be professional, like
yes,
what you're doing in the world.
Right.
Just make sure you do something that, you know, to fulfill God's purpose on earth. So
right,
now, how did I discover my medicine as my calling?
Yeah.
It all started when I was young. You know, I was like, when I was very young, I was admitted to the hospital, and there I met, you know, some doctors attended to me, and when they attended to me, like, one of the doctors, like, he was so young, and I saw the way he was treating me. He has like a special interest in me, so he started talking with me. Then I really I'm like, wow, I really love this profession. So he was like the first person that, you know, built the interest about medicine in me. Okay, apart from
so
that,
God used that guy to provoke
that, like, okay, it all started like, let me say, like a seed.
Yes.
Yes, sir, like a seed.
Just like your story is similar to the story of Elizabeth, yes, and Mary.
Yes, sir.
So Mary, you know, when they met with Elizabeth, she knew the child, something, you know, started leaping in us, in this child leapt in her. So that's the same way God used that,
yes,
to actually quicken,
yes,
your calling. God could use people and circumstances to quicken the calling that He has already built in us.
Yes,
and that's what has happened in your own case. Okay, you wanted to continue explaining.
Yes, sir. So, like, I really saw the way, you know, his courage, the way he was talking with me. You know, I found like something different about him, and since that time I've like started building interest in, okay, like, wow, I like this profession. And in the hospital too, like, if you know Nigeria and you know UCH, like, is a very popular hospital in Nigeria.
It's a teaching hospital.
Yes. So, and you know, there were so many doctors around, but he's really stood out and really made me have interest in medicine. So since then, I've kind of started building interest in medicine. Then as time goes on, people started talking with me like, oh wow, this guy just say like you have this special care for people. You're passionate about people's health. Like, if someone is, you know, maybe healed or something, like the way you take it, like, I'm just so natural about it. It's not like I'm maybe doing eye service or something. Like, I mean, I'm just like so natural about it. I just like people to be healthy, like, to be healthy. So then it's like goes on and on and on like that. Later people started talking, like Pastor was saying, you know, the other time he was talking about calling, that he said, what have you found that people really compliment about you?
Yes.
Like, when people see something and they say like, wow, like, they give those compliments. So people started giving compliments about me, like you're kind of a neat person, like you're too meticulous, you know, you're too organized, you know, like you care about people's health. You're not, I mean, that's maybe selfish or something. Like I'm like, then I began to take note of those things. So that was like when I was like my primary school days to like secondary school days. So when I was finishing my secondary school, so I had the passion all through. Like I had, you know, like I had the seed was going, I mean, was growing in me all through. So when I finished my my secondary school, I was like, okay, supposed to like write, let me say, like admission exam to go to university. So while I was trying to do that, I had some challenges like
Jump.
Yeah, with jump, you know, in Nigeria. So I was okay, how am I going to do this? Yeah, so like I couldn't, let me say, like, I couldn't meet up with the cutoff. Then aside from that, I had some other surrounding challenges. Like there was something that happened that really made me, you know, like that passion. Like at a point, I couldn't have the zeal anymore for medicine
because you couldn't get the admission.
I couldn't get the admission because of
the university.
Into the university,
right?
You know, like it wasn't because of maybe my performance or something, but like there were some surrounding factors there. Maybe like because of the condition of the country.
Okay.
Maybe something that I was hearing. Yeah, I was hearing about. You know, so that kind of for that time made me, you know, lost passion for medicine. And I said, okay, let me just opt in for maybe microbiology.
Okay, before you go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Before you go ahead, I want to talk to somebody is asking me here. Okonko Shukwudi Obiajulu is asking me to use Periscope, and he had suggested that the last time, and he's not the only one. Other people have suggested that I use Periscope. Thank you so very much, Okonko, for the suggestion and the idea. You know, I actually started this my thing that I'm doing. I started doing it on Periscope. I started out on Periscope, but I had to stop the Periscope use for some reasons, and let me explain to you the reason. The last time, either you or somebody else says that Periscope has 1 million people or a few millions of people that are there worldwide, but I don't have 1 million people in Periscope, because Periscope works by the same principle that Facebook works. And maybe you need to enlighten me more about this, but if you don't have a lot of followership on Periscope, then you cannot have a lot of people watching you as well. So each time I go on Periscope, first of all, because I was new there, I tried it for 1 month. I only was able to gather less than 100 people, and so that is too small. But on Facebook, I have a large followership. So you know, I have each program minimum we have 1,000 people watching, sometimes 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. So you know, that's why I prefer Facebook to Periscope. That's number one. Number two, another reason I prefer Facebook is because on Periscope, one day when I finished doing my program like this, I decided to check it the next day to see how it's doing. And then I discovered that the next day or 2 days or 3 days later, it was no more there. So I was wondering what's happening. What happened to this Periscope recording? I discovered that on Periscope, you don't get to keep your recordings. They only stay there for 24 hours. After 24 hours, the whole thing disappears. It's like working for emptiness. I don't like that kind of work. I like to build momentum. So on Facebook, I prefer it because it stays forever. So anything that is recorded here on Facebook it's forever here, and then I transfer it from here to my blog. I transfer it to my YouTube. So that's why another reason why I prefer to use Facebook than Periscope. Then the third reason is because right now, as we are talking with you right now, as I'm talking to you, I have the reach of today, this whole week. Today is just Monday. This week already, I'm already having 30. Let me see. Let me just tell you. Let me show you, just so that you don't just believe me. I have over 30 million already this week on my platform that I'm reaching. You see, this is I don't know if you can see the figure. Can it be seen? No, it cannot be seen, right? I don't know how to show it.
Can you
so
zoom
I
it
can
out?
see it. Huh?
Can we zoom it out?
Yeah, that's it. I think it got 34 million. Can you see? That is 34 million reach. 34 million. 34 million. That's the reach I have right now on Facebook. 34. That's 34 million 200 and something. So 34 million already potentially already on my Facebook is reaching already this week, and each one of these my program reaches at least 100,000, sometimes 500,000, sometimes 1 million, sometimes 200,000. So I have a big reach on Facebook, but I don't think. I mean, can you imagine 34 million? Even the whole of Periscope in the whole world doesn't reach 34 million, and 34 million is just my own reach alone. So that's why I'm arguing out with Facebook. So I don't know if you have stronger arguments, Okonko. I'll be open to that. So maybe you need to write, not just here, but you could write me on my email. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. 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 So for all the people who are calling me to go on Periscope. So you understand the reason why I stick with Facebook, and that's my argument. If you have stronger arguments and you could help me to reach more people on Periscope or any other means, let's do it. I'm ready. I'm open for it. But right now, you could see it. I just showed you this week alone. I've already reached 34 million people just on my Facebook. Okay, let's go.
Oh, thank you, sir. So like I was saying, so when I was about to gain admission to university, like the passion.
Wow, sorry, Terry Quinn. Hi, Terry Quinn. Welcome. Terry Quinn is telling me that he has got some amazing technology, and he will be able to show me when he visits me. He wants to visit me in Ukraine. When he visits me, he's going to show me some technology of how I could reach even more people. That is beautiful. That will be beautiful. Well, I can't wait to have you, Terry. I can't wait to have you. Blessings. Sorry, Sam.
Oh, all right, sir. So during my admission process, I lost, let me say, like partially the passion for medicine. Yeah, because of the frustration around me that time. So when I was doing my admission, like when I'd already gained admission to university for another course. So while I was doing my admission, like during registration in school, I met one man that was asking me what course I was doing. I said microbiology. So he said, why can't you do medicine? I'm like, I don't like medicine. Like, okay, not like I don't like medicine, but like I love passion for medicine. So I said, like I'm not just interested again. I said initially I had passion for medicine, but I don't like medicine again. He said, why can't you reconsider it again and then like try your luck if maybe you can still do medicine. So that same day, another person met me and was asking me the same question.
So to cut a long story short,
yes,
God used circumstances, different circumstances, to let you know.
Yes, sir.
To use people to let you know that your calling is still in medicine.
Yes, sir.
Now, so thank God, because now another question that I have for you is that you are studying right now in a medical school.
Yes, sir.
With Nigerians, many Nigerians.
Yes, sir.
Will you tell me how many people out of the people you know in your class or in your school, what percentage will you say really have passion for medicine like you, or really believe they are called, or they are just there by circumstances, like people, these people have spoken to us today, I know they said it, success said it. What do you think about that? Do people really find out their calling? Well, how many people will you say that you have really met that are really called to do this thing?
All right, thank you, sir. Actually, I can say the percentage is very, very small, like it's very infinitesimal. Now, why? Because because of the factors that I think they've also talked about, like parental factors and circumstantial factors. Now, for people that have really met that had passion for medicine, like really had passion, and I know it's like their calling, and like doing medicine for them is like something so easy. Like they could tell you and convince you, not like they maybe they enter medicine for maybe like for pecuniary gain or something, but like they can tell you conveniently like the reason why they are doing medicine.
What would the percentage be?
Let's say like out of 100, maybe like let's say like 5%.
Only 5%. So 95% they don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the next question I will have for you. So thank God we have one of those 5%. You.
Yes.
Because we had 3 people here this weekend. 3 of you here now,
yes.
And out of that 3, only you is actually called to do medicine.
Yes.
Other people are not convinced they are supposed to read medicine, but they are reading medicine.
Yes,
and one of them is supposed to be a thinker and an inventor
yes,
and a leadership person.
Yes,
and the other one is supposed to be an illuminator and a speaker. Yes, and he's doing medicine. So, but because that is what they want, that's what their parents. So, this week we are talking about calling.
Yes,
that people could influence us in the wrong direction, even our parents or our environment or circumstances.
Yes,
but the good thing is that we have to endeavor to find out, like you found out.
Yes,
God used circumstances, He used people to help you find out what your calling is.
Yes,
and you discover what your calling is. So that is wonderful. Now, the question that I will have, the next question I will have for you is that apart from medicine,
yes,
you have other callings. Will you tell us about the other callings? I mean, the other passions.
Yes,
your main calling is medicine. I want people to know that apart from their main calling, which could be anything that they know God called them to do, that they might still have other passion. Some people say, what do we do? What do I do if I have other passion apart from my main calling? So which one do I pursue, or how do I combine the two? So I know that you, apart from medicine, you have other gifts and passion. So what could you tell us about this?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, my other passion, or let me say other things that also passionate about is teaching. Like I'm passionate about, when I know something, I like to teach people. I like to pass the same knowledge to other people, like let them understand what I understood. Yeah, I also had that experience, like Pastor was saying that, okay, maybe how will you know, like your passion or things, let me say like your gift, what God,
your calling and your, how will you separate?
Passion. Yeah, how will you separate
between your calling and your passion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in medical school, now when I eventually like transferred to medicine, I eventually transferred to medicine. And then now I'm doing medicine. So while I was in school, so we used to like have tutorials with our colleagues. So most times when I teach, people will be like, wow, I like the way you teach this thing. Like even our lecturers don't teach that way. So like, how do you understand these things? How do you? So I found that like people really they really like the way I teach, and then they want me to like build myself up and then develop the skills of teaching people. Like maybe I could eventually end up being a teacher or something. I said, no, you guys should not go there. Like I just like to be a doctor, like a medical doctor.
So teaching is not your calling.
It's not my calling. But
so you not like to become a teacher professionally, even though you, as a passion, you like to still realize yourself in that direction.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there's a way I've kind of tried to merge, or let me say like align everything together, like to make it like whole. Now what I want to do is that really decided the area I want to specialize in medicine.
Okay.
And that is that aspect of preventive medicine. Preventive medicine, yeah.
Okay.
Like preventive medicine is like an aspect of public health where you orientate people about their health, about their health promotion, health maintenance, and disease prevention. So I'm going to like go on a crusade of orientating people about their health, about how to maintain their health, and how to prevent disease.
Educate people.
Yeah. Okay. So through that teaching skills, like teaching people, I'm going to still deliver my, let me say like my medical calling.
Okay.
I don't know if you get.
And
like,
also fulfill your passion.
Fulfill my passion. Yeah. So that's the way I want to do it.
Because this thing we are talking about is very important, because your calling is your primary mandate on earth.
Yes, sir.
It's your primary purpose for which God created you. Every one of us has got that primary purpose and calling on earth. So you need to look inside. You know, I've given out a lot of principles by which or through which you could know what's your primary purpose and calling on earth. And some of those you could, you know, if you missed out on these teachings, you could go back from Wednesday. We started last Wednesday, and you know, from Wednesday till now, every day you could go to sundaydelighterblog.com and you know, and get and listen to some of those teachings that will tell you how to discover your calling. And you could go to Facebook, YouTube as well, Sunday Elijah Official. You know, there are keys that have been given already how to discover your calling. And by the grace of God, I will continue tomorrow as well to keep on teaching us how to discover who you are, how to discover your calling. Then after we finish teaching on how to discover who you are, your calling, we're going to be talking about how to develop it and how to maximize it and how to turn your passion and your calling into money, how to sustain yourself financially through your calling. Because a lot of people know that they are called to do something, but they are not sure it could sustain them financially. And because they don't have the means to sustain themselves financially, they just go to work. They just go to get a job. And they are not pursuing their calling and their passion. So, so I have somebody here today that has his calling is medicine. He knows his medicine, that they know that medicine is his calling, but also he knows that he has other passion. So what do you want to tell us more about? Yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah. My other passion is also about leadership. Like, I'm so passionate about leadership. Yeah. Let me say, like, in every sector. Now, especially in medical world and political world. Like, the way I understand leadership is your ability to influence people with what you have, with what you know. So, yeah, and I've been kind of like building myself, like let me like acquire some skills to implement that. Yeah. Then another thing is I also have this.
So the fact that, which is very good point.
Yes, sir.
A very good point you are making. The fact that you have a calling should not negate all your other gifts.
Yes, sir.
The fact that you have a calling should not erase or wipe out all other gifts that you have. Yes. You have a calling, yes, pursue your calling, but your other gifts are there and placed there by God to supplement the primary calling, the primary purpose that you are supposed to fulfill on earth. For example, if you are called into medicine, you see, Samuel just proved to us that through education, he could actually, that gift, that passion that he has for education and for teaching could actually enhance his medical practice. It could enhance it by even helping him to know what aspect of medicine to specialize on. And in the discovery, he's going to specialize in the area of medicine that gives room not just to teach it in school as a profession. That is, some people might have that passion to teach medicine in school, but his own passion is to practice medicine, but practice it in the area through teaching, through preventive medicine, by educating people in the secrets of health and to live a healthy lifestyle to preventive medicine rather than just curing disease. So you see, his passion is complementing his calling. Yes, and his passion is actually suggesting to him the particular aspect of the calling that he has. So your other complementary passions might be necessary for you to be able to pinpoint. Because if you talk about engineering, for example, you might have all different kinds of engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, all kind of engineering. But there are some other things that you have in you. There are some other passion that you have that will be able to direct you and guide you, like to be able to pinpoint to you what particular aspect of engineering that you have. Consult yourself, consult your passions, consult your other passion. And so that's what we're learning from Samuel's testimony today. Yes, that apart from knowing through his passion to teach, apart from him knowing that he's supposed to do preventive medicine, we also know that he has another passion as well, which is Leadership. So, and leadership is so key for him to be able to take initiative and for him to be able to know, is he going to just be on the field practicing medicine, or is going to build structures, is going to build systems that will be able to, make him to be able to deliver this preventive medicine to the world. And it is leadership that makes you to, to be in the front, to build a system, a structure, that to lead, to build infrastructure, that to be able to carry out that your mission and calling. I hope I'm getting.
In fact, I just love the way you are saying, because like you're just saying my mind. Like, I mean, so perfect. I like the way you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Let me really tell you the way I wanna. Like, I found out that God has really put that burden on my heart to go on this crusade. I mean, like, to turn medical world around, like to turn it upside down. I'm going to go to Nigeria and change the health system altogether. Now, how do I intend to do that? Now, people have seen medicine over the years as, let me say, like, for treatment. Like, you come to doctor for treatment, you come to doctors for maybe, you're healed, and then they prescribe drugs for you, and then you go back home and then you're okay, and maybe next time you're sick, you just go to the counter and get your own drugs, But I want to bring a new mentality. Like, I want to bring in a new system. Like, you can maintain your health. Like, you can prevent disease. So if everybody has this preventive mentality, like if you understand that you can remain healthy without you necessarily getting sick, because I even see a lot of problem with people getting sick when they can prevent the sickness, when they can prevent the disease. Like, for instance, I learned that, do you know that the cost of prevention is half the cost of treatment? Like, I mean, for you to treat a disease or illness is like ×2 the cost of prevention. So in other words, you're spending more
treating sickness.
Treatment with compared to prevention. And the other thing is, if you are doing prevention, if you are doing treatment, now it's like the system is deteriorating. Like, your system is after
the resistance level is broken down,
reduced.
Okay.
Then the productivity, or let me say, like, the immunity, the system is less productive. Like,
after treatment.
After treatment, you get it, sir. Like, for instance, okay, maybe if someone is maybe like your ass wound, for instance, now.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a wound and that part of the skin is cut. Now, even if your body, that part of your body is healed, the scar cannot be compared to the normal skin.
Right.
So you say that even after a long time, you still have that scar, even on your body.
Yes.
So better to prevent that wound than to you have that wound and then now be treating it. So the same thing for your for any kind of
teacher aspect, right there.
Yes, sir. So anything for for kind of disease. So if you're kicked down with a disease, it will make you less economically productive. You'll be less financially productive. You'll be less compared to if you had prevented that disease, even at the first instance. So prevention is always more advantageous than treatment. And another thing that I really want to work on is the aspect of treatment. Like, you see doctors prescribing drugs. Now, there's no drug that you take inside your body that does not have toxic effects.
Wow. Yeah.
After its therapeutic effects, it's still going to put some like deposit in your body that after a long time is going to cause damage to your system, like the kidneys, the lungs, the liver, the heart. Like, more than 90% of kidney disease are due to like drugs.
Wow.
You can, like, the long-term effects. Yes, all this chronic disease. So you see that prevention is always more advantageous than the treatment. So I really want to like go on this crusade of orientating people about their, about their health, how you can maintain your health, how you can promote your health, and then how you can prevent disease. So there are like 3 major specialties that I really want to work on to change the medical world. So, and I believe that doing that is going to help people a lot. And looking at that prevention, now I realize that, okay, the major way you can do the prevention is to understand the system. Like understand your system and the environment. You understanding your system is like, I think is a normal thing for every human being on earth to understand their system.
You mean their body system?
Yes, their body system.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Their body system. Like, you should understand that, you know, we have the external environment and the internal environment. So the internal environment is like what we call like you maintain your internal environment, homeostasis.
Okay.
So you maintain your internal environment. So your body has a way of maintaining its own environment.
Okay.
Because it's autonomous.
Okay.
So, but the external environment is the one that, you know, you do externally.
Okay.
But you also have to understand how your body maintains the internal environment, so that you can also know how to maintain the external environment.
To keep yourself healthy.
To keep yourself healthy. So if something goes wrong with the internal environment, that's when maybe like you come down with disease or external environment. So it's always problem with the environment, whether internal or external, that causes disease. So now understanding that environment is going to help us to know how to prevent disease.
Okay,
or
now
how to maintain our health.
So, which is very, anybody listening to you will be sure that you know your calling and you have an understanding for it.
Yes, sir.
And you have passion for your calling. Yes, and this week we are talking about calling.
Yes, sir.
Purpose and mission.
Yes, sir.
That every one of us has been packaged to do something on earth. We have been sent here. Nobody is an accident. Every one of us was packaged from heaven to resolve a particular situation or a particular problem on earth. There is nobody that was sent here just that God will say, okay, you get there, then we'll later find out what you'll become. No, it doesn't happen.
Yes,
God, first of all, gets the problem, identifies a problem on the earth, then it creates you as a response to a problem.
Yes, sir.
So we are all created as a response to a certain problem.
Yes,
The thing that you are describing right now,
yes, sir.
you were packaged from heaven to provide that answer. Because God knew that it was not there and it is not going to be there before you come. And God gave you those potentials, the leadership, to be able to take the initiative and be the one to pioneer it. That's why the leadership supplementary gift is needed. And then the teaching supplementary gift that you have also was given because you needed to communicate this. And God knew that prevention is better than cure. So, and that you needed all this. So even looking at your life and studying your story right now, you could tell that God packages all of us for something on the earth. We are not here by accident. And there is nobody that is just born on earth just by himself or by accident. So that we are custom made for a solution. We are custom made for a problem. We are custom packaged to be able to provide solution, answers to some situation on earth. So your own story right now is a confirmation of how that works. And before we go back to your story and to medicine and your calling and everything like that, I want us to now relate it back to how was all this enhanced, or how was your gift, or what did meeting Pastor Sunday or Pastor Sunday's teaching, what did it contribute to your calling, to your gift, to you as a person right now?
All right, thank you for that question. Okay, when I met Pastor, let me say like the first...
You first heard somewhere, or you first... How did you first meet me before you started listening, or is the opposite?
Okay. Okay, yeah, I've heard about you, and I've maybe read your book sometimes, then maybe watch you on YouTube or on video. Yeah, but when I met you one-on-one, when I met Pastor one-on-one, like I had an encounter, and the encounter was like he spoke about how God doesn't, like, let me say, like, God is not like a determinant of your success in life. If I can use that word, like if you can put it that way, like God has put everything you need for your success in you. Okay, and he used the approach of, like, I think he quoted the scripture, say, God has made it the head. No, never be the head and not the tail.
Did you say you had me say something when you met me the first time, or what? So you said you had an encounter.
Yeah, with you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I said I had an encounter with you.
Is it physically? Or
yeah, physically, yeah. Physically.
What happened?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to describe now. Like the way you brought the message to me, like, you know, we talk about this destiny thing, and people think maybe like.
So we met. We were discussing. Or were you listening in the hall?
Yeah.
Was it a teaching? What's the?
No, like like
you are talking. You are not talking to me. You are talking to them.
Yeah. So like it was like a meeting with pastor. Okay, yeah, not
like
a
one-on-one church meeting or church meeting. You have to describe that.
Okay, one-on-one meeting.
Okay.
With him, yeah. So then he was talking about his experience. Like I was asking him, so he was talking about his experience. Then he now mentioned. So I asked about his success. Like, what is the secret behind his success in life? Like, I've heard about it, and now I'm seeing the results. So I wanted to know what was the secret behind the success. So then he was talking about like success in life is not being lucky or being fortunate, or maybe you are lucky or you are, you know, by fate or something.
It's not by accident.
By accident, you know. He said it's through hard work. Like God has put everything you need to succeed in you, and then it's now left for you to harness everything He has put in you. You know, to bring it to, you know, for manifestation, like to bring it to reality
through hard work.
Through hard work, yeah. He really emphasized on that word, you know, hard work. Like, you know, we think, oh, if God has maybe given you power to, you know, stumble over serpent and this thing, and maybe you could just go and sleep or something. But he really emphasized on the power that God has put in us to put to work. So then I found out one major key I found out, you know, from his, you know, story that he shared with me was like he really harnessed that thing that God has put in him, that, you know, that power, that ability, everything God has put in him, He put them to work. How?
Through hard work.
Hard work, yeah. Okay. Through hard work. So then subsequently, so I really got so challenged, you know, by that. I'm like, wow. So like, you mean God has given us all this thing, and then just for us to believe it and then start working on it. So then I started, you know, like my life took a turnaround from that time. Then I started listening to, you know, more of his messages. Then till we now got to this aspect of the calling, where we were talking about how you can really discover, you know, your calling, your passion, and, you know, other gifts God has put in you. So, and for me, really, it was like a big encounter. So,
and a big confirmation.
Confirmation, yes, sir.
Of your calling.
Of my calling.
Listening to these teachings,
yes, sir.
Did they affirm what you already knew, that yes, medicine is really my calling, and, you know?
Oh, definitely, yes, sir. Like this aspect of calling, for me, really, like gave me more revelation about. I'm like, wow. It was when we were teaching that I now like had like a throwback. I mean, like reminiscence on things that have happened in the past. You know, my childhood. Like I never talked about this in my life, like to people, you know. So, but when you talked about it, then I now sat down, you know, looked at things that happened to me. What people, like analysis, you know.
You are doing analysis
of what happened to me in the past, you know, how people, you know, what people, you know, told me that time, you know. So then I got it clearer, you know. I'm more ascertain that, okay, wow, this is really my calling. So I really thank you so much, sir, for that that revelation. Like it's really like took me a step higher and more, you know, I mean, like more convinced in my spirit. So now I can tell people convincingly that no, I'm just so sure that medicine is my calling, with all the experience I've had in the past and with people.
What will you tell people? Do you think maybe you should help or share your story with people? You said 95% of people in your medical school, yes, they are not even called to do medicine.
Yes, sir.
Don't you feel after listening to me how to discover yourself, and after coming here, yes, and you know discovering yourself and getting affirmation about your calling,
yes, sir,
don't you feel challenged that maybe you should also help other people in them, especially those people who are in medical school here, that are here just because their parents or other reasons why they are in medical school? Do you feel any kind of challenge or any, you know, provoked maybe to help some people to discover their real self, their real calling? And is there any way you could minister to them? You could tell them, you know, you could exhort them or help them to discover who they are?
Very well, sir. Like Okay, I like talking with people, really. That means like one-on-one. And I really realized that, like, okay, that's like people in medical school. Yeah, that was how I could come up with that conclusion. And I realized that a lot of people don't even know the reason why they are doing medicine. Like, they will tell you, okay, maybe they just give you one flimsy excuse or one flimsy reason.
Because they want to get a good job.
Like I want to get a good job, I want to get a good pay, I like the course, So I'm like, really? So why are you wasting your time in medical school? So when they tell me other things that they like doing, I'm like, really, medicine is not your calling. So what are you going to do now? Now what I advise is, okay, since you're in medical school and you're almost done, finish what you're doing, at least come out, at least, succeed in what you're doing now. Graduate. Then you can now maybe focus on your own calling. Then when you're talking with your parents or talking with anyone that maybe like your guardian or something, like they also want to see your own conviction, like not just talking like I just think, like they want to see that conviction in you, like now you know what you're doing, you know what you're saying with proofs and reasons, because I also realize that people don't, they don't, when they are talking with their parents, don't even have maybe they are still young, so parents can influence them.
They don't have their own
position. They don't have their own position, so they can't even present the thing, the point in a kind of, matured way. But after maybe like the medical school, then they can maybe talk to their, maybe the people there, maybe like their superiors, and tell them that, oh, I think I've really found my purpose, or let me say like my calling. I also think that,
what about if you have not found it? What will you tell them to be able to find? What did you discover through this teaching about calling
yes,
that you could share with young people who are your schoolmates,
yes,
and they are doing the wrong thing? You know that they are doing the wrong thing.
Yes, sir.
And what are the suggestions you could give to them that will help them to actually find and discover who they are calling?
Oh, wow. So I think you've already provided answers to all these, giving answers to all these questions. Yeah. And I think the one that really, let me say, like, struck me most is that one that you talked about, that I'm talking about now. Like, discovering yourself or discovering your calling through the eyes of people.
Through the eyes of other people.
Eyes of other people. Now, you see, God has placed people around us, not just for, putting sake, but to also be like, to be God's eyes or God's way of talking to us. So Pastor was saying then that you may not even need to maybe go to God and say, okay, God, what is my calling or something. But it could be like people that God has placed around you, maybe through their compliments or through their, comments, what they say about you, maybe something negative or positive. Can you just take time to think about it? It could even maybe like your experience, the experience that you had in the past. I was sharing my own of how, I got confirmation of my calling to be medicine. Even at a point when I lost passion, for it, God still used, 2 men the same day to tell me that, you can still try medicine again, So people around us could really be, factor, your experience, and your when you take time to meditate to your, let me say, your gift, things that you like doing, without so much stress or struggle, could actually be like a pointer to your calling and passion in your life, So I would really do like a practical, not like making it theoretical, but make it so practical. So can you sit down and then maybe take time to meditate, take time to think, have a moment of reflection on what has happened to you in the past, things that people have spoken to you in the past. Pastor was saying maybe when you were young, that you don't have so much influence, that maybe people can talk to you maybe because you are now influential, or because of maybe any gain from you or favor from you. But at that time, when you were young, people can talk to you anyhow, just talk their mind out. So that time, it could be maybe a true acid test of who you really have from what people are saying to you, their comments, their compliments, maybe what they like about you or what they hate about you. I remember those days when people would tell me, oh, you're just so you just so care about people, the way they talk to me. Even it may be maybe on negative, these are just talk, just get so all these small things, just you get too, too concerned about people's health. Like you want to know how someone is doing, how someone is feeling, how someone is. Why can't you just face your own business? Even I still, so all those things, they're like, oh wow. So you mean I'm really passionate about people's health? You mean I'm really passionate about people's, well-being? I'm like, wow. So those are like things that really,
And to confirm what you are saying,
yes, sir.
Because that teaching was done last week,
yes,
and it is called getting to know your calling through the eyes of other people.
Yes, sir.
So that's just one of the secrets of discovering who you are,
yes, sir.
And what your callings are.
Yes, sir.
And there are some other secrets, that were given. And the recordings are there.
Yes, sir.
And SundayAdelajablog.com and YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. People could go there and get the callings. Yes, so okay, now still talking about combining your passion. Are there some other things that you are planning? We see your dream,
yes, sir.
For medicine, and we see for teaching,
yes,
leadership.
Yes,
are there some other things that you are already doing or you plan to do concerning bringing your calling to pass?
All right. So yeah, like I have some strategies. Okay, of course, number one, I want to develop myself very well, like really build myself, and let me say, like finish my medical school, go for my master's, and then begin to execute my strategies. And one of the ways I want to like implement that is like to first form a team. And pastor told me with my friends, like he gave us strategy on how to form a team and build your team. So like I'm gonna form a team, like maybe like with few people first, then let them understand that preventive concept. I'm gonna take my time, let them understand it very well, like the way it's running in my system. I'm just so passionate about it, like the way I'm just so passionate about it. So I'm gonna communicate that to them. Then I'm working on writing a book on preventive mentality. I want to write a book on preventive mentality.
The culture, preventive culture. Right?
Yeah. Like how people. It's gonna be like they should understanding their system, their body system, the environment I talked about. I'm gonna put it make it so plain, so an average person that can read that book will understand their body system, and will know what can affect their health and how they can maintain, how they can promote and prevent disease. Okay, so these are like strategies just that I'm going to put in place to now launch that crusade of letting people know about, like that crusade of prevention, like preventive medicine. So for people not to for them not to focus on treatment, like getting drugs to treat their body, but always preventing, going on that prevention,
lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Because changing the lifestyle of the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm going to build a team. Then I'm going to write a book. Maybe make some publications. Maybe make some, let me say, like presentations or something. Like to just be like, to make sure like I reach out to people to like pass across that that message undiminished to people. So,
excellent. What has this week done for you? You said you came since yesterday, 2 days ago?
Oh, like 3 days ago.
3 days ago. So what has this week done for you of being here in Pastor Sunday's house?
Oh, really? Very, very, my God. Like I was sharing with my friends that like every message I heard from Pastor is always eating me, like it's always coming afresh. Even maybe a topic that I've maybe heard before or something, but the way he has this special revelation that when he's talking or when he's teaching, it's just gonna come to you afresh, and it's gonna stir up something in you. Like I know it's not natural. Maybe probably that may be part of maybe his own gift or calling or something, But I just know that every time he ministers, every time he teaches, there's always, you know, something that is teared up in me, you know, and I really want to, you know, thank him so much for, because I know it's like, you know, like he used to say, like, all these things come from adequate preparation, you know, hard work, you know, like you have to, you know, sit down, you know, get the revelation and then, you know, pass that across well. So I've really like gained a lot. You know, I've gained a lot, you know, talking about people coming to share their, you know, their testimonies, you know, what has happened to them, that one to like what God has used pastor for. Like, there's so many mind-blowing things that, you know, that has happened to me. So I really thank God that I met Pastor and I came here this time to, you know, come and have this time with Pastor. Thank you so much, sir.
This is the first time you are staying in my house. It's coming to stay with me, right? You just came to visit, but not to stay.
No, yeah, true.
So why did you decide to come to visit me this time?
Well. Okay.
What motivated you to come and spend some days in my house?
Yeah, the previous encounters. I mean, the previous contacts. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, there's this thing I have that, okay, when I see someone great and I see the results, so I'm so passionate about, okay, want to know how did this person get this result. Like, I know it's not gonna be like superficial, something like, okay, just meeting you in the public and say, hello pastor, how are you doing?
Lay hands on me.
Just, you know, just lay hands, you know, like, you know, casual contact, but it has to be, you know, deeper, you know, like coming closer, getting to know, to understand the secret, you know, which is not gonna be something superficial, something just transient. So I had to, like, you know, cover that time to come and, you know, meet with pastor and really learn a lot of things.
But you've been here for how many years?
Country.
Yes.
Okay, I came on transfer from Nigeria. We're studying.
How long have you been in Ukraine?
Like 3 years ago.
3 years.
Yeah.
So you've been in Ukraine for 3 years.
For over 3 years, yeah.
So why didn't you come to see me before then?
Before then?
Oh, I was not here 3 years ago.
Yeah. So okay, you know, even before I came here, you know, I've always heard about pastor, you know, Pastor Sunday, like, that's, you know, a very big man of God.
So you didn't believe it was possible or what?
Yeah, like, you know, really had this mentality about, you know, this big man of God, like, he has like the, you know, the biggest church in Eastern Europe or even Europe, and then he has Ukrainians in his church, like everybody. So like, I've heard about the exploits, you know, about the results. So I'm like, how can I go and meet this, you know, this man of God and say, okay, I want to see you or something. So I had this mentality, you know, this Nigerian mentality that big men of God are, you know, always difficult to see, and then maybe for you to see them, you have to register, and then maybe maybe it may take maybe like a whole year for you to even see them, you know. So for a while, I just, okay, let me say, maybe I may see you by accident, but I didn't really plan to, like, before I didn't plan to, okay, let me come and see you. I mean, like, for what? You may not even give me the audience, so why wasting my time? So I just, okay, let me just, you know, because of my mentality about, you know,
because of what you knew from where you're coming from.
Yeah, like big men of God are, you know, always like
unaccessible or what?
Yeah, maybe. Then the protocols and, you know, like the protocol you have to follow to see them is like a long process. So
you thought it's the same thing here?
Yeah, yes, very well. Like I thought so. Like
very well. Like, what do you mean very well?
I mean, like, seeing you, for me, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. Like, okay, it's gonna be like you may not be that kind of person that is accessible. Although I've not met you, but I know. Even the first day we met you, I remember the way you just came out and then you were talking. I'm like, are you serious? This is pastor? Like, I was so surprised. I'm like, no, tell me this is pastor. You know. So the way you came out, it wasn't like maybe like and maybe two people will come to us and say, no, pastor is coming, you push, just keep quiet, okay? And another person will come, okay, 2 minutes to come. Like, you know, they will be telling you, like, you have to, you know, the way you came, you know, unaware or noticed, like, I'm like, seriously. So it gave me that kind of, I mean, your liberality, like, you're free, so to speak. You're also free to meet with people, and that kind of, you know, it really got me thinking like, wow. So I could see your humility, you know, your down to earth kind of person. So I'm like, wow, I was so impressed. You know, I was so impressed.
So when you were coming,
yes,
it means you didn't know what to expect.
Really, like just like the way I said now, like when when you're meeting with a pastor, like a big man of God, like you will see people will tell you, okay, you people should just sit down, you people should keep quiet, people, like the way they will tell like you're meeting president. Yeah, in like you're meeting with president or with not even president, like Obama, some very big guy, so it's kind of so the way you came in and you said, people are welcome, let's come out, let's talk. I'm like, really? You mean this is pastor that that owns the, like, I was now relating that with your exploits, like things that you've done. I was trying to, do you mean this is pastor or somebody is like his ghost or something? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I mean, seriously, I'm being frank now. I couldn't believe it because I thought it would be like maybe, some people will have come. They will have come and, like, it's like before president comes, so some people will have come and then, like put fear in you, like people should just, you should just keep quiet, calm down,
behave yourself,
don't. Then pastor will now come and say, yes, yeah, come. So but the way you came was like, wow, I really got so impressed. I'm like, wow, this is a man of.
But where did you get that kind of concept from? That's the way pastors meet with people.
It's not concept. It's just the way it happens. Like the way we see it. Not like maybe what I thought about. It's just the way.
So you didn't. Is this not for your fantasy?
It's not. And I'm sure a lot of people can bear me witness. Like it's not. Like I'm not saying like maybe some pastors are not accessible or they are not. Maybe we can't approach them. But maybe like, let me say like the environment, the people around them, the way they make things so hard, and then the way they turn them to God. Like no, that the way they just say, no, you can't just meet them anyhow. You can't. I wouldn't know. But your own approach, I think I think it's runs down from the head. Like your own kind of person, the way you make people around you feel like I'm not like a god that now, or like a boss that now, turn everybody to like slaves, and then maybe you push there's just putting fear in people and then make them like suppress them kind of. So your own approach is not like that. So you're not putting entourage around you, putting protocols, say you have to follow this procedure to meet me or something. It's not like not being organized, but there's a way you do things that that at least this person is accessible enough. You can always.
So you didn't know you could come and stay in my house when you came in here 3 years ago?
I wouldn't think so. Like I wouldn't say maybe, or let me say what I can think is maybe like someone will have maybe like got so close to you for maybe like a year or 2 years or 3 years. Then you can ask, okay, maybe you can, maybe your pastors or your, these people that are very close to you, but not people like us that, we are just.
You're talking about yourself.
Myself, no, I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think what?
I wouldn't think that maybe you can just allow me to, or give me that, access to come and then, come to your house and even sit with you, talk with you. Even when you laugh, you say, give high five, the way we just smile, and I'm like, wow, this is just, like, seriously. Like the Bible says, there's the love cast out fear. So when I see your expression of love, so it cast out fear. So because there's this fear that, okay, when you're meeting someone very high, there's this fear that you have. So when you're meeting the person and then you see them showing you love, so the love that they show to you cast out the fear in you. So you could express yourself, you could manifest your gift. That's why people under could manifest easily, because the love has cast out the fear, and then now they can, they can live good. They can, they are not feeling any oppression or any slavery mentality. And you sit down there, oh, you keep quiet, you, what are you saying there? You, even when someone is talking rubbish, you still want to give the person, that allowance to say whatever you have in your mind. Whatever idea you have, whether it's foolish or not foolish, just say what you have. That is mind blowing. That is like, I see that heart of humility, and Spirit of God.
But now you're living in my house, so you have to tell your people at home that it's possible to even stay in the house of pastor.
In fact, very well, sir. Like I can't just like. There's so many things I've learned about you. I mean, like so many things I've learned about you. And from you, I've learned so many things about you, and I've learned so many things from you. Like your kind of person, your personality, it's just so mind blowing. It's so mind blowing. The way you think, the way you approach situations, the way you approach people. Even the other time we were talking, and you're saying, even if I heard about someone, if I heard something bad about someone, maybe like they said someone is a thief, and you said you can even invite the person to your house. I'm like, really? You heard that someone is a thief, and not even like one person or two people, like everybody, almost everybody was saying this person is a thief, and I say I will still give the person benefit of doubt to come. I'm like, really? And it's not like you want to gain something from the person, but just to give the person like that welcoming, that welcoming.
He's a human being.
He's a human being, like that welcoming, spirit, that welcoming nature. Like it just come. And when you extend that love, like that loving spirit, I'm like, no, come on, this is something that I should really emulate and show to other people too. So I really want to tell you that you really have that, that spirit of love, that spirit of God, that.
Because if, for example, the idea is that why should you think that I should allow you into my house, but the other guy I shouldn't allow him to my house?
Okay, why should I think?
Yes. So what do you do? What do you do to deserve to be accepted by me? Oh. What did you do to deserve it? You didn't do anything to deserve in my house, in my eyes. You didn't do anything for you to be accepted by me. You didn't do anything for you to be accepted in my house or to come and stay in my house. You didn't need to do anything for that. You don't even have the time to prove yourself. So I don't know if you're a thief also. Somebody also might be thinking you are a thief too. Or somebody might be thinking you are bad. But why should I still accept you to my house? Because you're a human being. And you deserve to be given the benefit of the doubt. So the same other guy also is a human being. Even if anybody is saying he's a thief or he's a bad guy or he's not a Christian, he's not a believer, he's a Muslim, it doesn't matter. He's a human being, and on the basis that he's a human being, he is made in the image, in the likeness of God. On that basis alone, it deserves that I pay attention to him. And if he's so desirous to come and learn from me, I should give him the benefit of that until he proves himself to be evil or to be a thief in my house. You're on the same footing. He's a human being just like you. So some people who come to tell me that this one is bad, don't accept it. And I'm thinking in my mind, but you yourself, what did you do to deserve to be accepted? So you are thinking you deserve to be accepted, but other people don't deserve to be accepted. What have you done to deserve? What are your criteria that makes you to deserve it? You don't get what I'm trying to say.
I get your point, sir. Yeah, and that was why I said, for me, it was like a big surprise, because you're asking, okay, would it have thought that maybe you will have come to my house? I mean, like, will I have accepted you to come to my house, to come and stay in my house? And I said I wouldn't have thought so. And I told you the reason why. I said because I think men of God are kind of big men of God. You don't like to assess them or to talk with them is kind of maybe difficult or so. And it's like maybe people that are very close to them, maybe people like maybe they are pastors or people that are that are maybe like very close to them,
who like have done something, who deserve it.
You get so that's the kind of people that we can stay with them, but not people that maybe that are still like coming up and then they are not even sure whether they. So even for me too, I was surprised. I mean, like I was really surprised. So,
but even when you came,
yes, sir.
When you came with a team of how many people?
With a team, we're 3.
You have Christians, you had non-Christians, you have Muslims even.
Yes, sir.
Or not?
Yeah, we had no Muslim.
Okay, did I accept all of you the same?
You did.
Okay, tell us the story that you came. Tell them the story.
With the team. Okay, yeah. So my first encounter with pastor was really actually about our team, that's like the government students from Osun State, that we came on scholarship. So we came to visit Pastor and to share some of the things that we had in mind.
You are not my members?
We are not.
And
we are not.
You are not all Christians?
We are not.
Some of you are Muslim?
One of us
was a Muslim.
Yeah, was a Muslim.
Some of you are not from. None of you is from my state.
You do no.
Okay, so I never knew any one of you.
No.
Okay, so
okay, I think except success.
Okay.
Yeah, we came together too. Yeah. So when we came here, then we said, okay, we want to see Pastor, and he said, okay, Pastor is coming. I was okay. So we're waiting. So we were thinking like maybe you're coming in the evening. Like there was a time that you said you're gonna come to meet us, but the moment you got the notice that we are around, so all of a sudden it just came, let me say like from nowhere, and they just, I'm like, we too. So we're just trying to, this is Pastor. He said, yeah, Pastor is around. So the way you came out and said, okay, let's go out and then let's have a meeting. I'm like, seriously? So I was so surprised because it was like the liberality, like the
freedom.
The freedom, the way you, the love, the love, like, I'm like, seriously, this is, so that really like shocked me, like, wow. So I didn't expect it, like, I didn't expect it. So that was why I said, like, your kind of person, your personality really for me is, is one of a kind.
It's a lesson. It's not the idea is not for you to be one of a kind. The idea is for you to learn to treat people like God will treat people. To accept people like God will accept people. And to make people feel that they are important not because they have done something, or not because they deserve it, not because they have achievements, but because they are human beings. To treat people as if they are God's nature. And they are actually God's nature. That's why Jesus said that any one of you that accepts me. Yeah, and Jesus said I was naked. It was not people who were naked. I was the one who was naked. But people didn't see him. People didn't treat him like him. They treated people like people. But if you treat everybody, you learn to treat everybody as God, as you would treat Jesus, you will never miss it. So the fact that the other guy in your team was a Muslim, that doesn't change anything. It's God's nature as well. If we will become, because that's what love is, and that is what being a Christian is. If we will become real Christians like this, to be treating people as we would treat Jesus, the world will become a better place. Amen. And if you go back to your school and you begin to treat them like this as well, concerning their calling and their destiny, their purpose, you will make so many disciples, you will be shocked.
Wow.
Well, it was nice being with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And so, anyway, everybody, sorry, our time is overboard. And if you have any comment that you want to make, please go ahead and write your comments today. We had a wonderful talk with Samuel that is combining your calling and your passion. And we've seen the way Samuel is doing it. His calling is medicine, but he has passion for leadership, for teaching, and we see the way God has helped him to have that in the right perspective. So let us know what your lessons are today, what you have learned, and also go and share the link. Let's go and share this link and let other people also be blessed. Okay. Okay, people are talking. Sheikh Anyo said, Pastor, he is right. They say you are right. Great men of God are semi-gods. Too much protocol around them. So, Omo Wonola Olu said, sometimes it's the people around them. Ola Martin says, for those that are suffering from cancer like me, is there something to prevent medication? I do chemotherapy once a week and it wears down the body. So that's a question for you.
All right. I didn't elaborate like very well about it. That's why I said I'm going to release some materials that's going to like help. And I'm also looking forward to have a platform where I can really express, I mean, like all these things. Now, understand that prevention is in different levels.
Okay.
Like starting from primordial level, like we have primordial prevention, we have primary prevention, we have secondary prevention, we have tertiary prevention, and we have quaternary prevention. Okay. Now, from primordial prevention, now you are making sure that you've removed the risk factors, okay, of whatever is going to cause disease. That's primordial prevention. So primary is, there's already a risk factor, but you're trying to work on it so that it will not cause disease. Okay, but let me just go straight to your question so that I won't take time. Now the point is, depending on the level of your cancer, okay, so
she's already doing
chemotherapy. Now, chemotherapy has to do with drugs, and you know, drugs, I said, has all this toxic effect on the body. Now, depending on the cause of the cancer,
okay,
yeah, depending on the cause. So, like, I need to get like get the diagnosis right about your cancer, like know what's the cause. Then we know how we can address, how we can work on the prevention, like how we can prevent it from getting more worse, and then even try to reduce, you know, mitigate the effects it's going to have on the body. So we are working on two things: prevent it from getting worse, 1, 2, mitigating the effects in the body. So those two, that's why I said the prevention is not like maybe like you may have the symptoms or the disease even already in your body, but the prevention will still go further to prevent the thing from getting worse. 1, 2.
Hello everyone, Sunday Elijah here. Господи, слишком горячий. Так горячо, что страшно. Ну, может быть, потому что мы на улице, она так. Пускай просто чуть-чуть мед добавит. Не надо раздавить, да, только медом. Welcome everyone. Good morning. So who do we have there today? Shegun Fatumo, Lola Shorunke, Rochelle White, Mayowa, Olukayode, Flay Karim Matip, Oluwatoyin, Christy Basi, Zukile Shiwula, Cecilia Blaine, Magdi Van Vick, Shibuzo Obi, Ladi Shoronke, Benny Gift, Faith Odwa, Nkem is here, Jacqueline Ojo, Joti Dowu, Bose Fayanjola, Taiwo Aboaba, Mike Atkins, Peter Yodele, Iziegbe, Arlene, Jake, Elizabeth, Stephen, Pastor Apostle Yomi, Kate, Cyril, Paula, Basil, Shola, Ayodele. Well, Peter, Jonah, I tried to call you, Peter. I tried to call you yesterday because I saw your missed call. Who is that saying he tested my number? Mike Atkins, I tested your number on Facebook, sir. Better write me. I don't use telephone. Better write me. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. So if you tested my number, I'm sure I didn't get it. I don't even use telephone. I don't see I don't know the last time I saw telephone last. I don't know the last time I saw TV last. So I am so I'm just on email. Not TV, telephone, sorry. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Welcome to another day. Today's message is your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling, we keep on talking about the series on calling. And the series continues. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. So that is a continuation of the topic that we started last week. So sometimes we make it so complicated. We make calling look so huge and so lost. But it's not so bad to find out. It's not so difficult to find out what your calling is. So will you please go and share the link? Before I begin, for real, let's go and share the link. So please, everybody, go to your share button. Go look for your share button and let's share the link for this message. All right. So let's quickly do that. I give you 1 minute. Give you 1 minute. Go share the link. Then we can take off from there. Your calling is in what you are naturally good at. All right, we are ready to go. Most people think that those things that they are naturally good at, that they are mundane things. They are unimportant things. And how could my calling be in something unimportant? How could my calling be in something unimportant? Well, that is the paradox of life. And that is the paradox about life. The paradox of life is that everything is important. There is nothing that is not important. For example, somebody said, I don't have a calling. How do you know that you don't have a calling? Well, because I don't have a calling. God didn't tell me anything. But everybody has a calling. There is no human being that God does not give a calling to. There is no human being that comes to this earth without a calling. God has prepared you for something. So this same person that says that God had not given him a calling, and she doesn't have a calling, I mean, the calling is written all over her. The calling is written all over her. So I told her, you have a calling. I said, what's my calling? You are a loving person. You love people. I said, love people. Everybody loves people. Well, you love people differently. You love people. And you know, just how can loving people be a calling? Yes, it is a calling. It could be a calling. You could teach the world how to love. You know, even something as simple as loving people. You might think that it's so simple that it's nothing. I thought I'm going to get an angelic visitation, that you are an evangelist. Behold, so thus says the Lord. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It might be just as simple as, you know, how you relate to people. That might be, your calling could be hidden there. What is it that comes naturally to you? What is it that you are naturally good at? Are you naturally good at listening to people? Are you naturally good at listening to people? Well, if you are naturally good at listening to people, so what calling is that? That is the calling. That's the calling. But you see, what you are naturally good at only is just a pointer to what your calling or profession could be. Let me tell you something. The way it works is this. You first of all find out what you are naturally good at. Then you go and study what are the professions connected to that. That's the way to do it. I think you should know that. You should pay attention to that. That you should not let that pass by you. You first of all study what you are good at. What is it that you are naturally good at? What is it that naturally comes out of you, that you are good at? You don't need to think twice to do it. You don't need to struggle to even do it. What is it that you are naturally good at? Let's say you are naturally good at listening. So what do you do with it? How do I know what to study? If I'm good at listening, should I just go and be listening to everybody? Is that a profession? Is that my profession now? No. What you are good at is an indicator. What you are good at is your indicator of what you pay attention to. So let's say you are naturally good at listening to people. The way to do it is this: go to your Google or go to the internet and find out what are the professions that are connected with listening to people. So if you see that you are naturally good at listening, then look at that. Just go and search. Okay, the professions that are connected to listening are psychology, or maybe pharmacists, or something like that, or sociology, or anthropology. Just look for those professions that are related to listening to people. So it's not just enough that you got, oh, I like to listen to people, I like to hear them out, so that means I got my calling. You still need to study. You still need to do some little bit of research. So that research you are doing is what will lead you to the fact that, oh, okay, counseling, maybe listening to people is about counseling. So I might need to go and study counseling in that case, or guidance, or parenting, something like that, or consultation. So because you don't just the idea of what you are naturally good at is like the raw material. It's like the oil. It's like going to dig on the ground and you find out there is oil, crude oil. But crude oil is only the raw material. Or the diamond that you have from the ground is only the raw material. But the raw material still has to be processed. So by the time you find out what you are naturally good at, that is only the raw material. Then you have to process it, think through it, and go and study, do research, so that the research could tell you what are the professions and what are the skills that you need to develop, and what are the professions that are connected to what you are naturally good at. That is very important. Let's say, for example, you like being in the kitchen, you like to cook, or you just like anything connected to food. And you say, oh no, that I could never, that could never be my profession. It's just what I like doing. I can never be good. It can never be my calling. How can kitchen be my calling? Kitchen, food, no. But everybody eats now. It's an embarrassment. How can I just, my profession, a whole human being, how can my profession just be food or cooking? No. So, we trivialize. That's our problem. We trivialize ourselves. We trivialize our gifts. We trivialize our potential. We normally trivialize our calling because of our attitude. So, for example, let's say you find out that you are good, you are comfortable with food, you are good at cooking. Maybe you are not quite at cooking, but you just like to be in the kitchen. You like to be around the kitchen, cooking or doing anything connected with that. And you say, oh, how will I tell my friends that I'm a man and I like to cook and that my calling is cooking? No, that cannot be. My calling cannot be cooking. The cooking cannot be my calling. That's an embarrassment. It cannot be about cooking. My calling cannot be cooking. Well, it could be. You see, you should remember again the fact that cooking or liking the kitchen, that is what you are naturally good at, or that is what naturally comes out of you. Now, that thing that naturally comes out of you still needs to be processed. It's just a pointer to you. It's just an indicator to you of the direction that you're supposed to walk in. So when you see that you like kitchen and you like cooking, or you like everything connected with kitchen and food, so then go back, go and study, go and do some research and say, what are the professions that are connected with cooking? What are the professions and the jobs or professions that are connected to food? So when you begin to study, you discover that cooking and food and kitchen is not only about being a cook. So even though I like cooking, but my profession might not just be, it might be being a cook. Then if you begin to study everything about being a cook, you will discover that it's not so embarrassing after all. You will discover that, wow, there are so many people out there that are cooks and that are good at what they do. And that we have cooks who are millionaires, and we have cooks who are famous people, and that being a cook is not something you should be ashamed of. After all, what leads you to that? It is studies, it is research. So it is when you research the subject that you discover that, wow, being a cook could actually be an art. It could be a science on its own. So, but apart from being a cook, just because you like kitchen or you like everything connecting with cooking, that doesn't mean that you are so inferior to somebody. But when you begin to really learn and do research about it, you discover that, wow, there's a whole industry that is called, catering. That is called catering. So it will be a whole industry that God is inviting you to. Or you might say, oh, well, I like cooking, but I like things connected to kitchen. What are the other things? Then if you do the research, you discover that, wow, hotel business, restaurant business, and all these things are all about cooking. So it's a whole industry. It's one of the most lucrative industries in the world. But if you just look at it as something, trivial, as something that is just called cooking, I mean, everybody knows how to do that whole cooking. That's like old woman's job. That's like, that's like, it's not even a profession. If you are going to trivialize what you are naturally good at, you will never discover what your calling is. You see, the idea, one of the most important things, is for you not to trivialize whatever you think that you have, that you are naturally good at. And some of the reasons that make us to trivialize what we are good at, our gift and calling, is the fact that we think it will not make money for us. Well, the reason why you are thinking that it will not make money for you is because you don't do research. You have not investigated the subject. You have not done research on the subject. You have not found out actually what are the means and methods that will make that thing profitable to you. So if you are good at cooking, and that could be a big business. I mean, you could become one of the richest people in the world. I mean, hotels, all of them have restaurants. I mean, a whole hotels could be what God is calling you to do. It might be restaurants. It might be anything. I mean, those are great businesses right there. And what I spoke about initially, if you are just good at loving people and you think, oh wow, how can that be a profession? When by the time you finish studying that subject of loving people might not be as trivial as you are thinking anyway. Because when you just go and study the subject of loving people. So who are the people who love people? Well, then you discover that to love people is connected with pastoring. To love people is connected with psychology. To love people is connected with counseling. To love people is connected with, teaching. To love people is connected with a lot of other professions. So it is when we are talking about the seed here. What I'm giving you through this teaching is the seed. So you need to find out the seed of your calling. And the seed that I'm giving to you today is what you are naturally good at. So make a list, take a sheet of paper, and find out, let's say, the things that you are naturally good at. And when you put a list maybe of 3 things together, or 4 things, maybe 5 things, maybe 10 things, put the list down. When you put that list down, then find out where you are strong, where you are naturally good at. And you might be good in several things, but you are better in one thing than the other. You are naturally better in some things than the other. So if you put a list of 10 things down where you are good, then point out the things that you are really good in, that are really natural to you and are easy that come out of you much more easily. And make a list of the top 3 of those. Then go and research them. Go and make research so that you'll find out which ones of those top 3, what each one of them, what profession are they connected to. Then when you get the profession that they are connected to, then that gives you an idea of what you prefer. You listen to your heart and you follow your heart and say, okay, I like this, and this, and I'm good in this. This is the profession, this is the profession. Then you will know, if you study more about the profession, you will just know, yes, this is mine. This is the one. For example, if it's about cooking, it could be about cooking, being a cook. It could be about restaurant, doing the restaurant business. It could be about hotel. So you need to find out all of them. While you are researching and you are investigating each one of them, you will suddenly discover that, yes, it's this one. It is this one. So it is not about getting a job, but it is about doing what you are created to do, or going to do what you are, sent to the world to pursue. So that profession, therefore, becomes the venue or the avenue or the platform through which you bring the kingdom of God to that particular sphere of influence. So, so the thing that you are naturally good at is one way that God wants to talk to you about your gift and your calling. But the purpose of gift and calling is to bring the kingdom of God to wherever that sphere of influence is. So it's not just about you making money. It's not just about you doing what you like and just enjoying the process. But it's about you, using that as a key, as a platform to go and bring the values of the kingdom of God to that particular sphere of influence. Yeah, let's continue. So write a list, take a list of paper, or you take your iPad or a computer and get a list for yourself of what you are naturally good at. Yesterday I also spoke about the fact that even after you have done your due diligence and you have done your research and you have done your critical analysis, you will discover that there might be some more than 2 or 3 things that you are good at. It doesn't follow that if you are lucky that you are only good at one thing, that's good for you. But you might be, you might be good in more than one thing. So if you are good in more than one thing, then, you write them down also. It's no problem that you are good in more than one thing. That could also be helpful to you, because like the brother we spoke about yesterday, he discovered that his calling was medicine. Okay, apart from medicine, he was still good in teaching, and he was good in leadership. So some people think that, being good in more than one thing is a confusion. Some people think that is going to mess them up, and they will say, okay, which one do I pursue? I like this, I like this, I like this, so where do I go? But the real thing is that you are supposed to go to the direction of your strongest inclination, of your strongest passion, and of what you are more naturally good at. So once you follow that, then you discover that those other things that you are good at, they will mash up. They will follow you. They will, you will find a place for them. Okay, the young man that was called to medicine, I mean, on the first glance, it would look as if medicine doesn't have anything to do with teaching. But if you study medicine properly, I mean, not medicine itself, but if you study the subject and you look around and you do research about medicine, you will discover that medicine cannot solve. I mean, there is no medicine without teaching, and without teaching and education. So there is educational part of medicine. But in the case of that brother, it was not education that he was pursuing. It was giving educational, medicine enlightenment to people. So he was actually bringing insight, enlightenment to people about, preventive medicine. So you see now, so the second passion that he has is actually a pointer to help him know that what he's actually supposed to deal with is not just medicine in general, but preventive medicine, because he likes to teach. So he likes to teach people how to prevent sickness and diseases. So that second passion of it is to teach. Now is also a complementary is complementary to the general calling that he has, and also is a pointer to help him to discover that really, this will really. So the second or third passion you have might be a pointer for you to know what concrete, what aspect, what to focus in, what to zero in your area of calling. So thanks to the fact that this gentleman knew that his area of medicine is to bring prevention, so then the ability to teach comes in handy, and so it is one of the greatest gifts you need to do preventive medicine. You need to be able to illuminate people, open their eyes and teach them, and that's how his secondary gift comes into play. And the third gift that he had was about leadership. And you need leadership to do preventive medicine, because you need to be proactive. You need to go and reach out to people and let people know that you need to be always going. You need to put a structure. You need to organize things. So if you have 2 or 3 passions or things that you are good at, it's okay for you. Let's say you say, you know, I'm good at cooking and I'm good at, and I like writing as well. Why not? Go and pursue your primary pursuit, your primary passion, which is cooking. But while you are pursuing that, you will also discover that cooking also requires writing, because you need to write the recipe, you need to, you know, give instructions about it, you need to write the book, cooking book, and things like that. Or maybe you like to cook and draw. Well, you will soon discover that cooking has something to do with drawing as well. So you don't trivialize your natural inclinations. Don't ever look down at your abilities. Don't look down at you and what you are good at. So that's why the first thing you need to do is to sit down and think. You know, come to solitude with yourself. Be one-on-one with yourself and think. Throw yourself the question: what are you naturally good at? That comes to you naturally. That comes out of you naturally. Look for those things. Make a list of them, and then begin to, you know, study about each one of them. And when you are studying, let your heart be open. You will discover that, yes, this is it. Unfortunately, this, you know, many people don't do this before they go to choose their profession. But this is what you are supposed to go through first before you choose your profession. It is this now that, after finding out this, that will inform you on what profession to take. So first of all, you have to find out the things that you are naturally good at, then study to find out what professions are connected to them, then study to find out details about each one of those professions, then look also into your subsidiary giftings and passion. How could they be connected to that initial passion that you have and initial thing that you are good at? Then see the profession that, what aspect of that particular profession has those inclination towards those other subsidiary or supportive gifts and calling that you have, or passion that you have. So those supportive passions will let you now know, okay, it is this part of, this subject you want to go to. It is this type of engineering or this type of computer science. It is this type of teaching, education, this type of this you want to do. So you know, all things that God has put inside of you, they are not by accident. They are put there to help you. So when you go to church or to some places and they tell you, for you to find out what your calling and your calling in life is, just pray. You know, you can get it by prayer too, but it is already in you. Those things are already buried in you. You just need to be more. You know, you need to. Why should you be bothering God in heaven when you can study yourself here on earth? Of course, if your calling is about something spiritual and is a God calling full-time ministry, you might need to want to receive calling, but you know, it doesn't follow. I personally, I've never had a calling that I need to be a pastor. It's what I discovered by myself. I never had a calling that I'm supposed to be an apostle or something. This is what I discovered by myself. So, yeah. Okay, so you make a list. You study your areas of natural gifting, or the things that naturally come out of you. I've used the example of, you know, some simple things that we might think they are not important. Let's say, for example, you like to put things in order. You like to make order. And you say, oh, no, I don't have any gifting. I mean, I've seen people who like to put things in order, who are very meticulous, and they say, oh, I don't have any gifting. I don't have any gifting. I'm not gifted in anything. That is one of the most important gifts in the world, to make order. There are so few people who like to make order. If you develop yourself, you could become one of the best top managers in the world. Every industry needs top managers. Every industry needs order. Every industry needs management. So if you like to make order, that means you have to study everything that is connected to management, order, structure, system. Wow. People who build computers are people who like to make order. People who build industries, cities, architects, they are people who like to make order. People who do town planning and things, there are people who like to make order. I mean, to make things, you know, to make things be in order. So, but if you don't study what are the profession connected to making order, you would think you don't have a profession. I mean, even in some families, some parents actually laugh at their kids that, oh, you are so meticulous, you want to make order everywhere. What are you doing? Are you the only one here? You know, let things be. But those are inclinations that we need to pay attention to. Those are natural things that come out of that person naturally, the natural giftings that, you know, might enhance the calling, or that might point to the calling of that person. So little things like making order, it looks too ordinary. It looks, you know, like nothing special. But the greatest calling might be in that. People like, you know, people like, sometimes people like to play with technical things. Sometimes people like to play with, you know, technical stuff. Just, you know, finding out how things are built. I mean, those could be some of the greatest inventors. Those could be some of the greatest engineers in the world. But if you think, oh, he doesn't want to study, he just wants to work with his hand, or he just wants to do, you know, research, he just wants to, you know, unpack all the bags, and just wants to unpack all the television and the technical things, he's spoiling everything here, then you will lose your child, or your child will lose the destiny. So, for us to be able to help our children, these are the ways to help them. You don't choose your profession because of salary. You don't choose your profession because they pay very well or because it's popular. First of all, your profession has to be chosen in accordance. Your profession has to be chosen in accordance to what comes out of you naturally. You first of all must find out what is it that comes out of you naturally. Then study that area of inclination, study that area of gifting where you are naturally good at. Find out what are the professions that are connected to that. You know, make a list of those professions, then see which one of them you gravitate towards naturally, which one comes easier out of you. Not which one pays more salary, but which one comes out easier. And then you will always have, you know, supplementary or subordinate passions. Those subordinate passions are the things that are supposed to make you more original. Things that are supposed to make that your initial calling to be more pinpointed and to be more creative, to be more you. So, for example, if you have, like for example, Steve Jobs. I read the story of Steve Jobs. He was studying and he was good in computer and things like that. Then one day he felt like going to do, you know, carving of art, you know, in art, carving of woods and carving of things like that. He was carving out things. And how could, you know, that be connected with, you know, computer? But he went to study how to do art and carve, but he never knew that one day he was going to bring about revolution in typing, what do you call it, the calligraphy. Yeah, in what this I'm typing now. What is what? Calligraphy. Yeah, calligraphy. What you call letters. In the letters of the calligraphy in the letters of the computer, because before then, you know, they didn't have it so nicely done. So because of that skill that it required, he brought a revolution in computers. So he started carving out the word and to making them original for you to, you know, and that's what has made him to have smartphones and to do, you know, to install them. So all those things are things that later added to him. So some of the things that we think are not connected, they are some of the things that are most connected. I mean, they might not be connected, but the more they seem apart, the more they seem unconnected, the better it is for you to be original. So anything that you have, any inclination that you have, any skill that you have that is not connected to another, it is actually the best gifting that you could have, the best blessing that you have. Because those things that are not connected, by the time you bring them together and you connect them, then you are able to create something original that other people have never even thought about, or they never even thought could be done. So you know, appreciate everything that you have. Appreciate all your gifts. Appreciate all your potentials. Appreciate all your inclinations. All those inclinations will be something that will point to what you are supposed to do in life. Let's say somebody likes to notice something that is wrong. You're always seeing something that is wrong in everything. If you are such a person, it means you have critical thinking. If you are the type that sees something that is wrong everywhere, and people say, oh, he doesn't have a gift, he doesn't have any gift, oh, he's just criticizing everybody, He's a cynic, he's a skeptic. It's one of the greatest gifts you could have, because that is the mind of an inventor. To criticize, not to criticize, but to see something that is wrong anywhere, it means that you are an innovator. God could make, because innovators are people who see what they could improve in everything. Let's say they see this cup, and they see what they could improve in it. They see what is wrong about it. And by the time they add that little thing, they have invented something else. So to see something that is wrong everywhere, sometimes we could think is negative. And say, oh, he's just negative, he's just a negative guy. But with that kind of guy, we should find out how to use his gift and his negativity, or whatever we call negativity. The reason why sometimes those people become negative is because they have not been appreciated. Nobody has guided them. Nobody has helped them to discover how to go about their gifting. Everybody is gifted somewhere. Everyone. So even when you are the type that likes to see everything that is wrong somewhere, and what is not like that, those kind of people are the most precious people you could ever think about. Because you see what is wrong everywhere, it means that you are able to move towards perfection. You are able to create better products. Those kind of people should be employed in every industry. Those kind of people that are seeing what is wrong, they must be in every company, in every industry, because they will be the ones to take you further. They will be the ones to push you higher. They will be the ones to always make you to move towards improvement. So we have been going on now for 35 minutes. 35 minutes has gone. I think by now you should already have an idea of what you are supposed to do and what are your giftings in life. But once you get your gift, don't just say, okay, I like to sing, and you just sing to your own parents or to your own family. No, when you discover that, okay, singing is what you like, for example, go and develop it. Go and build a platform under it. Go and go for musical school. Or if you are the one that likes to see something that is wrong everywhere, find out what critical thinking, what are the professions that are connected with critical thinking, and then go and study on critical thinking, and go and study on on improving things, and then that is what will give you a platform in life. And then find out the professions that are connected. Then that is what what your profession is. Don't let your children just choose a profession because of the peer pressure, or because of the parental pressure, or because of salary, or because of what is reigning, or what is being talked about in the city. No, they should choose their profession based on what comes out of them naturally. Now, it could be in some cases that they have 2 or 3, 4 things that are coming out of them naturally, and later on it could change. That inclination could change. But the reason why those things change is because either they did not discover, what particular one they are really strongest at, or because the atmosphere or the environment, it did not appreciate the one that they really had, where they were better in. So what you do is that let them let them have a list of everything they are good in, and let them stop at 3, 4, 5 things that they are good at. And those things, let them develop all the 3 of them, or the 4 of them, or the 5 of them. So one way or the other, they will be able to find out, those things will still help them anyway. They will still, help them to become what they need to become in life. Like somebody will say, oh, he just likes to talk all the time. He just likes to talk. Why are you always talking? Especially, I know that, a lot of people don't like women. who talk a lot. Oh, you should just talk. Oh, this woman are always talking. This woman are always talking. Well, you know, there might be something there. There are some people who are not just talking as women, but there are some people who are talking because that is connected with their calling, you see. You know, like now I'm talking. So talking could be a profession, you know, oratory and eloquence. That is how teachers do. That's why you have a lot of women who are teachers. That's why we have a lot of women who are, you know, who are taking care of our children in primary school, secondary school, you know. But it's not just, but sometimes we think that talking is only about being a teacher. No, talking could be about consultation. Talking could be about giving guidance, direction. Talking could be about being a preacher. Talking could be about, you know, many other things that are connected with talking. So we should not trivialize people's gifts, people's abilities, or people's potential and say that they are nothing. No, we should appreciate everybody's potential, everybody's resource, everybody's, you know, thing that come out of everybody naturally. Like I said, when I was growing up in Africa, I used to grow up with my grandmother, and I used to always talk. And especially always ask questions. Everybody used to, you know, why are you always talking? They try to silence me. They say, okay, you become a lawyer, I think, or something. But I didn't become a lawyer. I became a journalist. And also I became a preacher, you know, because preachers talk. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm talking. Another thing that I like to do was that I like to listen. You know, okay, let's listen. Let's look at this particular inclination that I had, for example. What naturally comes out of me is to go and listen to people talking wisdom. I just like to go and listen to people who know more than me. I just go and listen to them. I like history. I like people to talk about history, what is happening. I just like new knowledge. I'm just naturally inclined towards new knowledge. I never knew that that is the key to wisdom. And I never knew that that is the key to innovation. I never knew that that is the key to wisdom. And so, but today, you know, I'm known as somebody who speaks things that are unstandard, things that are unconventional. Wisdom. I'm known for wisdom today. Why? Because I have that as a natural inclination to just go and listen to people, listen to older people, be in meetings of older. And I was always surprised when I was growing up. All kids like me, you could never get them to sit down to go and listen to anybody. They always want to run about, play, and all that. But I was always willing, always, you know, wanting to go and listen to some older people. And when the old people gather together, I always want to go and listen. And even up to now, my children, I'm surprised that they don't have that. I mean, they don't naturally do that. I'm saying, look, I'm your dad. Everybody is coming to listen to me. Why are you not listening? But they have their own areas of calling, you see. But I was always surprised that why are people not in a hurry to go and listen to, especially when you're a kid, because that's my own area of calling. That's my own area of calling. I didn't know that, and nobody could tell me that. So maybe the same thing with you. Maybe you have your children that like to just go and listen and just look into your mouth. Wow, that is a gifting right there. But you need to do some research and find out what are the professions connected with that ability. What are the skills connected to that ability? Then you go and do research and then help them to go and get connected to that profession. Help them go and get connected to that area of gifting. So all of us have our giftings and our callings inside us. It is buried inside you. It is buried inside your son, your daughter, your children. They have it. I mean, can you imagine just listening, going to listen? I mean, today, that is one of my greatest occupation. If you ask me what is the thing that I would like to do most, if you lock me up in a place for 1 year not to go, what would I like to do most? It's not talking, not preaching. What I would like to do most is to learn new things, just to go and study, or just learning, listening, learning, teaching. Learning, reading. That's what I would like to do. If I could just get on my own in the room and just learn, nothing like it for me. So something like that comes to you naturally, as if it's not a profession. So the thing that comes out of you that you are naturally good at might not even look like a profession to you. It might not even look like a job to you, like a job description to you. It might not even look like a gift to you. You don't have to look for gifts. Anything that you naturally do. If you naturally just like being alone, that might be a profession. That might be not a profession, but it might be a pointer to your profession, to your calling. Just to be alone. Because researchers are people who like to be alone. Thinkers are people who like to be alone. Writers are people who like to be alone. So find out what are the professions connected to loneliness. To loneliness. So, anything that anybody has natural inclination to, it might not be gifts or abilities. Some people are always talking about talent. Oh, do you sing? Do you dance? Oh, what are the talents you have? No talents, just anything that comes out of you naturally. And just anything that you are naturally good at, go and study it. Go and do research on that. Go and find out how that could be used. Go and find out what there are some things that are connected to it. There are some professions. Even if you say there are no professions that are connected to your own, if you say there are no professions, there is no profession that is connected to what you are naturally inclined to, well, maybe you are going to be the first one to bring about that profession. For example, somebody in America, I think you have seen these kind of smiles before. Everybody has seen smiles in America, right? Not from America mainly, but it's all over the world now. Smiles. The yellow smiles, the yellow sign of smile, is somebody that likes to smile. That started with somebody, smiley face, the smiley face. That started with somebody that liked to smile, So that smiley face started with somebody, something like this, smiley face. It started with somebody. Before they put the teeth, it just used to be like that. And it started with, just like that. This was started with somebody who liked to smile. This was started by somebody in America who just liked to smile. And you say, but how can that be a profession? How can that be a calling? Well, how can I give a smile to somebody? How can I make somebody smile, happy? She was smiling by herself before, and she discovered about me alone, I'm not enough. I have to make this popular. She just a smile, and everywhere it's something that everybody is talking about today, and everybody is using today. This started with somebody that had the inclination of just to smile naturally. It became a new kind of profession, a new kind of skills. Why? Because somebody discovered the gift. So maybe you like to make people beautiful. That is his gift right there. And so it doesn't just matter what you like to do. You have something that comes out of you naturally. What is it that takes your interest? What is it that you are naturally good at? You need to struggle. Now, when I say you don't need to struggle, doesn't mean that you don't need to pay the price, or it will not be, but it comes out. Okay, for example, if you say, if I say it comes out of you naturally to love medicine, that doesn't mean you don't have to study to work hard. Because some people say, okay, your gift, if it's something that is natural to you, you are naturally good at it, or it comes out to you naturally, then that means that it's not difficult. No, it's difficult. Everything is difficult. For you to be the best in whatever you are going to do, it's going to be difficult. For you to be best in whatever you're going to do, you have to work hard. It doesn't mean you will not work hard, but when you are working hard in something that comes naturally to you, that work hard is not it's not torturous. You are not suffering out of that hard work. You are enjoying the process, or you might not even enjoy the process in the sense that it's hard work, but you are in your own place. You are in your own place. You are doing what you are supposed to be doing. It's much more better than to be struggling and torturing yourself to do something that you don't even have inclination for whatsoever. That is totally different and much worse. So some people, especially those motivational speakers, they tell you that, just do something that you need to. When you are in your calling, it will just be easy. No, nothing is easy in life. Yeah. For example, if your calling is to be an inventor and to design something, people like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, you think it's easy for them? Of course not. but it's natural for them. They want to do it. It comes out of them naturally. But they are not, they are not suffering as a result of it. They are liking to do it. They like to do it. They enjoy the process. Even though they are paying the price, they are working 18 hours a day. To work 18 hours a day in anything is not easy. But they know they are doing what they are supposed to do. So they would rather do that than any other thing. So what is that thing that you are naturally just good at, you would rather do? The problem comes when we think that what we are naturally good at is not good enough to give us salary. The problem is when we begin to think what we are naturally good at is not good enough to sustain us. That is a deception right there. Everything that God has put in you is good enough to sustain you. Everything that God has put in you is good enough to make you a millionaire. Everything that is in you is good enough to make you competitive and better than any other person, who is in the wrong place. You should not work for a job. You should not look for a job ever. You should not look for work ever. The work is in you. You should never look for a job ever. The job is in you. Your job is already written in you, in your system. Before the creation of the earth, before you were born, before you were sent here, your job description is already in you. Your calling is your job. Your calling is your purpose. Your calling is your job description. So just discover what you are naturally good at, where you are naturally good, and then go to school to develop them, or do research. And once you've done the research, you discover what direction you're supposed to go, then go to school to develop them. So profession is pursuing what you already discovered. So education, therefore, is just something that helps to magnify or amplify what you have already discovered. So you don't go to school to discover what you are supposed to be. I mean, maybe primary school. I think secondary school might be a place of discovery, what you're, to help you totally discover what your inclinations are. But university and tertiary education is supposed to help you to now, magnify, amplify, develop, and, to add value, to make sure that you become an expert, and to teach you how to make a profession out of your natural inclination. So your natural inclinations, school is supposed to help you package it into a profession. Your natural inclination and your gifting, where you are naturally gifted, the school and education is supposed to help you to brand them, to package them, or to construct them, to make them sellable product, to make them palatable, to make you be able to present it, to make it to refine. It's supposed to refine you in it. That is what education is for. Education is could also be used to help you market it, to teach you how to market what you already have, to teach you how to make it into a mass production, how to make it into a product for everybody. So the gifting that you have is already there in you. What you're already good in is already money. You already have money. Every one of us is already rich. Every one of us is already a millionaire. Every one of us is already wealthy. You are wealthy in your gift. You are wealthy in your gifting. You are wealthy. You are rich already. If you have something that you are naturally good at, that is money. I mean, the person who discovered how that he can cook, but that's why we have millionaire cooks. Even we have millionaires who are cleaners, but they are not cleaning with hand anymore. They are cleaning with machines. They are having cleaning industry, cleaning companies. Why? Because they have been able to discover that they like cleaning, they like things to be clean, and they have gone to add value to it through education. They have gone to amplify it. They have gone to develop that skill. So, the tendency for you to learn to like cleaning just because you like what is to make everything clean, that is a pointer to you of what your calling and your profession is. Now that you know that, okay, it's cleaning that I like, then you go to school and find out what are the professions that are connected to this, or what could I study to really make this big, to develop this and to make this a skill for me. So that is how we discover our wealth. And when you develop that, it begins to give you money. You begin to discover that there are people who are in need of it. There is nothing that you know how to do that nobody is in need of. Oh, somebody could say, oh, but how can, but everybody cooks I just know how to cook. Everybody cooks. Well, why is it that we have people that the restaurants are prospering? Why is it that hotels are prospering? Why is it that the other people, cooks are being employed? Because it's not the fact that everybody can cook that your profession is not profitable. Every gift that you have has money in it. Every gift that you have has money in it. Every tendency, everything you are good at has money in it. Maybe you like to speak different languages. Well, there's money in that. But if you are just learning the language and just speak it, but it will not give you any money. You need to add value to it. You need to go and find out how to use that gift to become a profession, and all the different areas where to use it and where they are needed and where it is most in demand. Maybe you only like to read. Maybe you only like to read. Just like me, I really like to listen to older people to get knowledge. If you like to read, wow. I was listening to Warren Buffett this morning, and he said one of the greatest secrets to him to become one of the richest men in the world is just because he liked to read. He said because of reading, he discovered his profession, what he was supposed to become an inventor in life at 7-year-old, just because he liked to read. When you like to read, there is no stopping for you. You can reach any height. So people who like to read, that is already your inclination. Then find out what area, of profession, that particular reading, or what subject you like to read, and what area you like to develop yourself in. So everything that you are naturally good at is where your calling is where your profession is. Or maybe you like to write. Writers. So you have to just develop it. But everything that I'm talking about today, if you don't develop them, they will never benefit you. Or maybe you like to criticize people. This is different from saying something that is wrong. Or this is different from what I had said earlier, that critical thinking. Criticizing is different from critical thinking. Critical thinking is research, doing research, make out things will be better. But criticizing might be to criticize what people are doing wrong. That could be another profession as well. Because when you are criticizing people, you are correcting them, making them, maybe not just people, but things. When you are criticizing things, you make things better as well. So there are so many things that are in us naturally that we think they are not important, but they are really important. Look at, for example, someone like David. He liked to go and be with the sheep, with the cattle in the forest. And his brothers didn't like that. They were saying, wow, they were running away. He was the only one in the field. Well, because that was his natural gifting, his natural inclination. That natural gifting, what he was good in, later became his life destiny. He became later on the shepherd of Israel. Or let's say, for example, Joseph. It was just coming to him naturally to dream. He never thought of dreaming. These are things that just came naturally to him. But that dreaming was where his destiny was lying. Because later on, he started dreaming in Egypt. When he was in prison, that dream brought him out of prison. When he was in the dungeon, that dream made him to come out of dungeon, and then it is the dreaming, that ability that made him to become the prime minister in a foreign land. So the thing that naturally comes to people, the thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn into your profession. The thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn into your money making industry. The thing that you are naturally good at, you need to turn it into your money, into your finances, into your employment, into your profession, into your skills, into your millions. Your millions are in what you are naturally gifted in. But you must go and develop them. You must go and do research on them. You must go and amplify them. You must go and magnify them. You must go and do research on them. Get some profession skills. Then combine them with other things that you are good at. So other skills and passion that you might be having. Anyway, my time is almost out. I can't see your comments. Let's write. I want to see your comments. What are you learning from this teaching? What are you learning from this teaching? Can you write your comments? Can you write your comments, please? And if you have not yet shared this link, please go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share this link, and Let me see your comments. Okay, the comments are coming now. The comments are coming now. All right, thank you. The comments are coming now. Okay. Ja Anton said, Doctor, please, I would like to have the translation in French of your videos. You do the translation. Who will do the translation? You do it. I cannot be doing the speaking and doing the translation at the same time. You go and translate it. Why not? Basil Elibo said, learned so much from you. Someone people love to listen to. A blessing to our generation. Thank God for his mercies. Thank you. Jot Idowu said, Peter, a fisherman, became fisher of men. Yes. Bosse Fayajola said, the zeal in Apostle Paul made him the Apostle Paul. Ola Martin said, thank you, God bless you for enlightening me. Okay. Dale Smith says, I need to go back to school. Thank you. Eno Bakare said, this is awesome. Thank you, sir. Adewale Emmanuel said, I've learned that you need to develop yourself and your gifting. Obu Kokuo said, does age affect your calling? No, it doesn't. That's what we spoke about 2 days ago. Oluwaye Missy Johnson said, your gift will launch you out. Yes, if you develop it. If you don't develop it, it will not launch you anywhere. Justus Fowler said, I learned that I have to discover my gifting. Oluwatoyin said, you are helping us discover who we are the more. In my usual words, I am fired up. The world will feel the heat. Andrew Muzila said, I'm blessed. Even Botswana is receiving this pastor. Tina Stevens says, looking into my life and see what I love doing. Thanks a lot. Yusharia Elo Ebo said, I agree that although one's calling can come naturally, but one may have to overcome some obstacles to achieve greatness. Not easy at something. Yes. Ajeni Coco Richard said, I learned that you have to pay attention to yourself to discover your calling. That's true. Niyo Lushola said, a critic will be good in quality control. Yes. Convert your gifts and inclination into your profession. That's right. Martin says, I need to go back and research professions related to the things that I do naturally. Yes. Ufu Oma said, thank you, sir, for bringing clarity in my several abilities and making me realize that I can utilize them all. God bless you, sir. Adewale said, developing our gift is what makes us sorted out in our field. Yes. Francisco said, I learned that don't put down others and be thankful for your gifting. Yes. Nkem DK, my gift, nurtured, developed to excellence, is my wealth. Right. Just got a divine revelation from that statement that I have never seen in such a way before. Good. Kike, thank you, Pastor Sunday. It's really true that any gift we have can be of great benefit with returns. God asked Moses what was in his hand. I dream of inventing things, and I have been writing each idea that comes to me. I have also started researching on one of my ideas. Thank you for your message of encouragement and inspiration. Thank you, Kike. Terry Samuel said, from making money and financial success to ministry and discovering our purpose. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. You have made my year. God bless you. Festus Fola Josiah said, you are a gift to this generation and God will multiply your wisdom. Thank you. Popola says, there is a gift in everyone. We are to cultivate it to yield the desired result. Yes. Popola, by the way, I got your letter. I will reply you today. Maxwell said, you just awakened the giant in me. Thank God. Beate says, thank you, Pastor, for great advice and caring so much. Thank you. Emmanuel Okoji says, sir, for me, it's music writing, photography, and media in general, and how it shapes the lenses through which people look at life. but I am in a fix now because of the tendency on me from the family. The dependency, because of the dependency on me from the family. What do I do? Do I quit my job to pursue it? No, you first of all develop the skill that you have before you quit your job. Because if you quit your job and you don't have anything doing, it will, end you in trouble. So first of all, go and develop. You have to do this in parallel until your skills, your inclination begins to make some money for you. Kate Imoedeme said, you have touched so many around areas today, of which I can see myself going to now fully develop in those areas. Thank you for inspiring me. God bless you, sir. Patricia Ogbino said, after listening to these teachings, I have decided to restrain in what I enjoy most, which is wanting to help and make people comfortable. Wow. Weyimi John said, it's easy to discover oneself by paying attention to ourselves. We complicate things by expecting everything to be extraordinary. Yeah. Rufus Osai says, sir, the world needs more men like you, sir, as to invade the world entirely with so much knowledge and wisdom, so that many people will be exposed to their calling, because many are ignorant for lack of knowledge. Yeah. Shegun Ajakaye said, thank you, Pastor, for this message. God bless you. Angela Miel, God bless you, Pastor. I have passionate love for others. Yeah. Ime Ekwe said, a few months ago I was promoting my online business and took a break from online marketing. I wish I didn't take a second break. When you look at the situation in Nigeria, I predicted this suffering, but no one listened. Rochelle White, discovery is just the beginning. It then takes a spirit of excellence, hard work, and total commitment for it to grow to a tree. That's so true. Balanza says, God bless you, Pastor Karen. Peter Yodele says, find out someone that needs help around you today and listen to them. Listening to people's problems sometimes help them to solve the problem by letting it out the container. Most people in jail need someone to listen to their problems and counsel them. Most of the people committing suicide today wouldn't have done it if they had seen someone to listen to their problems. Some people don't have anybody around them to share their problems with or to listen to their issues. Problems stay in the stomach for so long, it's like internalizing a bomb until you let it out. If not, it could become a poison seed. Menrad said, thank you, Pastor, for your teaching. I'm fired up. I have many things I like doing naturally, but I didn't know what that they are gifts in me. I am going to develop them. God bless you, man of God. Well, let's go and share this link. If it's such a blessing to you guys, go ahead and look for your share button and let's go and share it, okay? Gregory Femi said, what I love to do is to motivate people around. Minke Theodora said, I respond later on. I did not watch the whole video. You are a bubbling fountain of love and knowledge, a bright well. You are talking from a heavenly treasure. It is pure Christ consciousness. Yes, God bless you. Thank you so much. Will you guys go and share the link so that other people might be able to watch it and you too could watch it later? Elizabeth Ali said, thank you very much, Pastor. I love talking, encouraging, motivating people, especially women. So many things I've learned today. Going to do research on those areas now. God bless you, Pastor. Audu Wandi say, I'm stirred up, sir. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Yeah, let's go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share this message so that other people who are not here today could see and let them be blessed as well. You know, God wants us to be a blessing, and then you also could use this. Yeah, you've come back to this many times. Beate says cooking is working with head, heart, and hands. People invent new dishes, work in a team, create something people are highly enjoying and pay a lot of money for. Great and important branch is just promoting healthy food. African food is not famous like Indian food or Italian or Chinese food. Why? Because you think cooking is too minor a job. That is so true. Jacqueline Ojo said, wow, that's my calling, cooking. Pastor Sunday Adelaja advised me to develop my cooking skills. Shirley Vidal Smith, God has set me in a position I'm completely vulnerable in. I don't like my job, but I'm here until God moves me. Until then, I will help those He sends my way. Well, you know, you should develop your gift, your calling, and you will know when you are ready to move on. Instead of waiting for God to do it, you do it yourself. Fat Beaz says, I am naturally good at making people happy, bringing smile to people's faces, making them forget about their worries, encouraging them. Well, make it a profession. Molly Ib say, Pastor, you have changed my world. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Barbara Darrell Malo said, you are a true blessing. Thank you. Ife Omashinedu said, may God increase your wisdom, sir. You too. Well, you guys, it's been nice to be with you. Go share the link. Let somebody be blessed. And, you know, go and fulfill your calling. Oluwayemisi Johnson says, you first have to discover the area you are good in, then begin to develop it, and with the help of God, it becomes your calling. Yep. Bernadetto Francisco said, God bless you, Pastor. Thank you. Rufo says, sir, the man God created is entirely filled with so much, since the Bible said God created in his own image. He created us with so much possibilities in us. There is need for men to take out time to explore themselves. There is so much to every man God created. My advice is for everyone to take out time to observe themselves and note their observation as its key to their calling. Peter Ayodele says, thanks, Pastor, but some pastors tell me that if you don't hear from God, it's too dangerous to become a pastor. If that is your inclination, if that is what your heart is telling you, follow your heart. Follow your heart. Thank you so much, everyone. Nice to be with you. See you tonight. You know, for people who don't know, every evening is 9 o'clock, not 9:30. So it's like 7 p.m. British time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time in America. So it's not 2:30, it's 2 p.m. It's in the morning that we have 7:30 a.m. British time, 7:30 a.m. Nigerian time, and 2:30 a.m. American time. Okay, God bless you guys. Bye. Hello everyone, Sunday Adelaja here. Sheikh Fatumo as usual. No failing, no failing, no failing. Bosse Fayajola. Welcome guys. Welcome everyone. Okay, who is the next person I greet today? Any other person coming on board? Nice to have all of you. Welcome. Oh wow, TY, hello. Magnolia, Rochelle White, Prince Daniel, Louis Abraham, Charles Smith, Ayo Adedayo. Welcome everyone. We're going to have a very good evening today by the grace of God. Maybe it's afternoon in your place. Eric Lindo, welcome. Apostle Yomi, welcome. Ekang Guevara, Bola Luro, Ashuko, Sikprako, Lidovich. Welcome everyone. Nkemdike, Flair Karim Matip, Justin Mayo, Prophet Chris Nwai from Mombasa. Wow. Shola Ojewusi, wow, how are you doing today? Yomi, yeah, that's Jegede, Ben Apute, Helba, Rosalie, Tokumbo, Merlin Nana. Welcome everyone. Nawa Junior. Okay, well, as you are coming in today, I would like to encourage you to go look for your share button. Let's go share the link. Let's go share the message. The faster we do that, the better, because then we'll be ready to go and continue into proper teaching. So let's go share the link. Samola sharing day. Let's go share the link as you come in. Sure Andrew. Wow, what a name. Sure Andrew says he needs to talk to me. Why don't you just write me? Just go ahead and write me. My email. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. 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 Nikki Christian, welcome back. Sam Olashen, they said he shared it. Okay, if you have all shared, then we can take off today. Did you people get the notification for this message at all? Did anybody get notification? Because it's interesting. Some people are writing me that they didn't get notification. So, no notification. So you are here all by yourself without any notification. I think Facebook is playing some games on us. No notification. People are not getting notification. That is interesting. So you all just showed up all by yourself. Wow. Facebook is playing some game on us, huh? Well, it's a pity. Well, welcome anyway. Thank God you made it. Thank God you made it. Thank God you are here. So we'll be ready to go. I'm sure you heard the message of today. The role of preparation in your calling. The role of preparation in your calling. The role of preparation in your calling. We have been talking about calling now for some time. We've been talking about calling for some time now. And today, I'm going to continue to talk about how to discover your calling, how to discover your purpose in life. I have a book that is written in that area. The book is called Who Am I and Why Am I Here? Who am I and why am I here? If you don't have the book, you can get it on Amazon or on Okada Books in Africa. But yes, but today I'm going to be talking on the role of preparation, the role and place of preparation in your calling. Now, how can preparation help you to discover what your calling is? Actually, I want to say my approach, I will be talking about this thing in 2 dimensions today. First of all, if you have, I hope you have all shared the link, because there is no notification. So that since there is no notification, let's go ahead and share the link and share the link so that our friends could know that we are on already. Yeah, how do you discover your calling? How do you discover your purpose? How do you discover what you are created for? One of the main keys for you to discover who you are and what you are created for is for you to study yourself, look into yourself, and find out, do a kind of inventory of yourself to find out what are those things that you could do without any preparation. What are those things that you think you could do easily? If they wake you up in the night, you'll be ready to do it. Normally, if anybody wakes you up in the night, you are not ready for anything. If anybody wakes you up in the night, I mean, you want to fight, you want to curse, you want to, do all kind of thing, and you want to, just to just murmur and complain and say, why should you wake me up so early? Why should you wake me up in the night? I'm sleeping, guys. But when it's your calling, when it's your area of destiny, when it's your area of purpose, even though you might not like the fact that you have been waking, you are just waking up from your slumber or from your sleep, but because it's a place where it's something where you find pleasure in, it's something that you like to do, something that you enjoy doing. It is something that is almost part and parcel of you. It is something that is buried in you. It is something that is placed in you, in your destiny. When it is your purpose, when it is your destiny like that, you know what? It doesn't matter if they wake you up in the night, you are happy to get back to them, to say, to go and do whatever they ask you to do. But unfortunately, many of us never take time to study ourselves. We never take time to study ourselves. And because we don't take time to study ourselves, well, we never discover who we are. I heard that some people go ahead and begin to do fasting and praying just to discover who they are. And then some people even go and visit some prophets, pay some prophets some money, so that the prophets will help them to find out who they are or what their calling is. Well, the reason why you have to go through all that trouble is because you have not been told, or you have not been taught to discover who you are just by observing yourself. Your calling is something that is in you. Your calling is something that is buried in you. So your calling is dwelling in you, is waking up with you every day, is sleeping with you every day. So your calling is right in you, is hidden in you. So it is only by observing yourself and by looking inside yourself that you will discover that calling. You don't need to bother God to discover your calling. you need to research yourself. You need to look inside yourself. Oh, God can help you. God can do everything. But, the easier way to do it is just to look inside yourself, study yourself, and ask yourself at least this one question. We've been doing this now for a week. So if you have missed out on some of the secrets of finding out who you are, you might want to go back to them to go and study some of these secrets by going to my blog, sundaydelijablog.com. Go to sundaydelijablog.com and look at the teachings that have taken place over the past week. I started this teaching last week, Wednesday. So that's 7 days ago. And I've been talking every day about this topic. So you can find out ways and methods to use to discover who you are. And one of those methods is to find out what can you do, what comes to you so naturally, what comes to you so effortlessly that even without preparation, you'll be ready to do it. You know, it's like I heard the story of one of Nigerian elite footballers. And you know, footballers, they need to train and they need to be fit before they could play football. The name of this our Nigerian soccer giant is called JJ Okocha. The guy, I mean, he was sent to Europe for trials. And when he went to for trials, actually it was thereby they were not ready for him, so he was just there by accident. He didn't know he was going to go to trial. He actually accompanied somebody to the trial. He went to just see someone to the field, and then they told him. Then the footballer told him, you know, this guy is talented. He can play football as well. He didn't even have his shoe. He was just having his dressing shoe, and so I mean, as a footballer, it's dangerous for you not to train and not to be fit. So he couldn't say he was fit or he had prepared. He didn't even do the preliminary exercises that they needed to do. And they just, you know, called him to the field and he started to play. That same day, he was given a contract. That's the story. That same day, he was offered a contract, a professional contract. Why? This guy was not, I mean, he just flew in from Africa just to be with some of his relatives in Europe, and you know, he was a professional footballer, and he was not even planning to go to the field, and he accompanied somebody to the club, and that's how the guy. Everybody in Nigeria knows who JJ Okocha is. It doesn't matter if they like football or they don't like football. JJ Okocha is a football star, one of the greatest in our country, and because that's his gift, he was born to play football. So even though he was waking up from a crude dream or sleep, and he was ready to play. He played so well that the other guy, who was a professional footballer already, was not signed, was not admitted into the club. He was the one that was admitted into the club. And at a young age, you know. So what is it that comes naturally to you? What is it that you are so comfortable with and you are so good doing that even if you did not prepare, you will still, of course, you might not be the best. You will not compare the JJ Okocha that, you know, played that day unprepared to JJ Okocha that is well trained, that is well exercised, that is well played, and that is well trained. You know, of course, when you are trained, when you train, and when you go through a period of preparation, of course, you are much better polished and much better, and you produce better results. But the thing I'm talking about is that for you to discover what your calling is, that this will help you to discover what your calling is. That, you know, there are some things that are so natural to you, there are some things that come so naturally to you, that, you know, you will discover that this is just you. Why? Because your calling is living in you. Your calling is in you already. Because it's in you, you live with that calling, you sleep with that calling, you wake up with that calling. So what is that thing that is so natural to you that they could call on you at any time to do it, and you'll be willing to do it, and you'll be ready to do it? What is that you are willing to do at any time, that you'll be ready to do at any time? Even though you might still need to go through some preparation, some training and things like that, but you know, you just know you can do it. Like my daughter, I have two daughters, and one of my daughters, the senior daughter, her name is Zoe. We had a challenge with her. In fact, as a matter of fact, my wife was so concerned. She thought there was something wrong with her, because I think she didn't speak till she was 3 years or something. But when she was 1 year, she started not to speak, but she started to sing. Then the second year, she didn't speak, but she was singing. The third year, she didn't speak, but she was singing. My wife started saying, oh my God, she started fasting and praying. I said, Princess, don't worry. I mean, this child, she has her own destiny, because I knew that she was going to sing. And she was singing. Instead of talking, she was singing. So up till now, if we are in the house, anybody is just humming and so singing there with the dance. So if she's doing the house chores, she's singing, she's even reading, she's singing, and this, what is it that you will naturally do that will just come to you naturally, even without preparation? Of course, she still needs to prepare, to learn to do the piano, to do the preparation, but that you still have something. When the thing is living in you, and your calling is definitely living in you, you don't need to look for it from outside. When the thing is living in you, when the thing is dwelling in you, you don't need to struggle to look for it and to be trying to look for it in the air or on the ground or somewhere in the sea or in the ocean. It's just close by you. In some cases, for some people, maybe it is singing, like I said. So for some people, maybe it's reading. Some people will sleep with a book, wake up with a book. Some people is thinking. For some people is just desire to make house chores, just to make things in order at home and to make the home nice, home making and things like that. Some people is just library, some people is laboratory. So it doesn't, just look for it. What is it that is so indwelt in you, that is so latent in you, that that once they call you to do it, you'll be ready. That is your calling. Now, I'm going to be speaking on two aspects of preparation today. One, the role of preparation in you knowing and discovering what your calling is. So in that sense, when it comes to discovering your calling, then the role of preparation is this. What is it that you can do without preparing? What is it that you don't need a special preparation for before you begin to do? That is your calling. What is it that you could do at any time? What is it that they could wake you up to do and you will do it? So that is, you don't really need a special preparation. So it's lack of preparation but still willingness to do it. So you are not prepared but you still know you can still do something. You are not ready but you still know they call upon you to do it. You'll be ready to go to offer yourself. So that is when it comes to discovering that calling. But there is another role preparation plays when it comes to being excellent and being successful in the calling. So when it comes to discovering the calling, what is it you don't need to prepare for? What is it that you can do spontaneously without preparation? That is your calling. That is just in discovering it. But in becoming successful, it's the opposite. You must be prepared. In becoming excellent in the thing, you must be prepared. For any endeavor to be successful, you still must be prepared. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how gifted you are. It doesn't matter how anointed you are. It doesn't matter how called you are. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how much gift is in you. You still must get ready anyway. So there is a difference there. So that's why I call this message the role of preparation in your calling. So when it comes to discovering the calling in relations to preparation, is that what can you do without preparation? It will help you to know and to discover the calling. But when it comes to excelling, in that calling, when it comes to being excellent in that calling, when it comes to being successful in that calling, when it comes to being the top and to be competitive in that calling, then you need preparation. So for example, if you like to sing and you never really practice, you never really work with experts, just like a lot of people in Africa. We have a lot of African people in America, African Americans, that are some of the best singers in the world. And you know why they are so good? Because they are naturally talented, but also they have access to professional preparations. They have access to coaches and trainers and supervisors who could train them and coach them and put their voice in order. So when the talent means preparation, that means greatness. That means greatness. That means excellence. That is just unbelievable. So that will be success. That will mean great success. When talent and preparation meets, there is nothing like it. But on the other hand, in Africa, we have more African people. We have more African people than you have in America. I mean, you have almost 1 billion Africans in Africa. But even though they all have the talent, naturally, they can sing. You can wake every African up, they begin to sing. But why are they not the best singers in the world? Why are they not the leading singers in the world? Why are they not the singers that have all the money in the world? Why are they not the leading singers and the leading voices in the world? Because despite their natural gift and talent, they still need preparation. They still need some amount of preparation. They still need professional touch. They still need, so with their talent and with their gift, when they could have somebody to add that little extra to them, that little grace, that little touch of preparation and excellence, then they will become the best in the world. But without it, even though they sing, they come to them naturally, but they will not be competitive. They will not be competitive. They will not be the best in the world. And they will not be able to make money. They will not be able to sustain themselves. They will only be singing as for fun, but they will not be competitive. Same thing, like now, for example, we have Olympics going on. And did anybody hear of the Olympics? Did you hear of the Olympics? Are you aware of the Olympics? Are you from Africa? Especially if you are from Nigeria. Are you from Nigeria? Do you notice that the people who are winning the Olympics, especially when it comes to athletics, are black people, African people, but they are African people of American origin, African people from America or from the Caribbean. So even though you have much more Africans in Africa, 1 billion of them, compared to a few millions that are abroad, but the reason why the Africans who win and who represent, who are in the Olympics and who are doing well, the only Africans who are doing well are the Africans who are not just talented. Everybody knows that Africans are talented in athletics, but talent alone, even if they wake you up and you are doing it naturally, that doesn't mean that you will still excel or you'll be competitive. You will not be competitive if that little touch of preparation is not added to it. So, so the role of preparation is twofold. What I'm talking about today is twofold. You need preparation, you need lack of preparation to discover your calling. But you need preparation to excel in it. You need lack of preparation to discover your calling. But you need extreme preparation to excel in it. So for you to know what your calling is, you need to ask yourself the question, what is it that I can do? And I will respond to without even preparation, without any preparation, without being prepared for it. What is it that I will naturally do that they could wake me up from sleep and I will be ready to go and do it? That is your calling. Without any preparation, I can go and do it, and I will still do well, or I will still do not bad, or I will be ready to go. But if it is something that is not already dwelling in you, and they want you to wake up in the night and go and do it, you will whine and complain and curse. You would not like to do it. But when it is something that is latent in you, that is dwelling in you, even if they wake you up in the middle of the night, even though you don't like it that they wake you up in the night, of course, but you will still be willing and be ready to go and do it, because that is what is in you. That is what is already in you. So when you don't need to be prepared. What is it that you can do without preparation? That answers the question of what your calling is. But for you to excel, for you to be successful, for you to be competitive, for you to be great in anything whatsoever, after you have discovered that you don't need preparation to do it and you are good in it, then you need preparation, real preparation, great preparation to now excel. You need preparation to now become who you need to become. So what naturally comes to you is what your calling is. And I'm not talking about negative things that naturally come to you. All of us have negative things that naturally come to us because we are dwelling in the flesh, we are carnal, and we are human. But I'm not talking about the negative things that naturally come to you. I'm talking about, the great things, the talent, the things, the abilities, the skills, and, the desires, the good desires that you can do without any, another way to put it is, what is it that you will not need motivation to do? You don't need motivation today. You don't need to be, you don't need people to be begging you and motivating you, but you can do it on the run. You can do it spontaneously. That's your calling. So maybe you can naturally think. Maybe you are a natural thinker. You don't even need to even think about it. You find yourself thinking. Then that means, then you have to go ahead and study what is thinking connected to, and what professions can thinking lead to, and the thinking, what are the skills that are connected to it. That is how you now develop that ability to think, to make it into a money-making project. And then that's how you make that ability to think, the natural ability to think, that's how you make it a profession. And then you go and study on it, and then you go and you develop it, and then make yourself skillful, competitive, so that you'll be at the top of your game. Maybe it's just communication. Maybe you like just to relate with people. Maybe it's relationship. Maybe it is relationship that comes to you naturally, just like to be among people. Well, you ask yourself, what are the ways you could develop that ability? What are the professions that might be connected to that ability? Then you can go to school. So education is therefore supplementary in this case. As education is therefore something that only develops what you have already discovered. So you go through education, develop your communication skills, refine it, and then make yourself competitive. That is when you begin to excel in it. Or maybe you just like to analyze something. Maybe you like to analyze things. If you are a thinker, you like to analyze things. But that's not, you don't just trivialize it. Don't just commonize it, and don't just look down at it and say, oh, that's nothing. Study it and find out what is analysis connected to. That could connect to money, that could connect to accounting, that could connect to finance, that could connect to banking, that could connect to management, that could connect to a lot of different professions. So look at professions that need analysis, and then follow your heart. Which of these professions I really feel good and passionate about? So then when you go, then that is when you now choose your profession and choose your school and your university. So when you go to study in line of your inclination, of the things that you are, or that is already latent in you, that's already indoors in you, that is when you discover your calling. I mean, that's when you develop your calling. You go to educate, you go to get education to fine-tune that calling. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you just like to be quiet. Maybe you just like to be quiet. It might not be as bad as you think. Just being quiet has its own value as well. Why don't you just go and study what are the professions that desire and that demand silence, quietness, silence, introverts? Then that is how you discover how you can go and fine-tune that your gift. That's how you discover what school to go to. That's how you discover what university to go to refine and to develop that ability. And then that's how it becomes competitive and money making for you. So every of your gift and calling, once discovered, must be developed. Once discovered, you must go through the process of preparation to develop it. If it is joy that you like to make people happy, and you are a person that is so happy and joyful, you like to make people happy, you like to smile, why don't you go and study what are the things, profession and skills that where in what professions is smiling required? In what profession is smiling required? Where can you develop this? In what area? So you see a whole list. You do an inventory of professions that need smiling and smile and joy. Then that's where you discover who you are. And then through that, you can go and develop it once you follow your heart, which one of the professions you go to. But you can never miss it because you are already in your line, in line of your inclination, in line of your gift. So the things that you do so naturally that you don't need preparation for, that could be your gift right there. It could be a pointer to your gift. Maybe you just smile naturally. Some people struggle to smile, Some people struggle to laugh. But your smile could be leading you to the area of your calling and your profession. Some people cannot sing, you see. But some people cannot believe that there are people in this world who cannot sing. But there are people in this world cannot sing. But if it comes to you so naturally that you don't even need to prepare for it, and you are so good in it, then we might need to go and develop that. More about writing, or maybe you just like to improvise. You're creative, improvise. Find out what areas that need creativity, improvising, and then you discover who you are. And if it comes to you naturally, that means you are, like for example, I like to improvise as well, and I see how that is helping me in my writing. Others need to force themselves to do this thing, but if it comes to you naturally without preparation, I don't even prepare to improvise. I didn't even study it before. These are things that are natural to me. That it means it's your calling. So the things that you are good in naturally, without training, without preparation, that tells you what your calling is. Now, let's now deal with the other aspect of the second aspect of preparation. So preparation, the first role of preparation, that as I mentioned, is to help you discover what your gift is. The second role of preparation is, once you have now discovered who you are, what your gift is, you need preparation to excel in it. Let me start with the word of Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, I like that. This is quotation. Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, if I have 8 hours to chop down a tree, he said, I would rather spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. He said he will spend 6 hours, the first 6 hours, sharpening his axe. So he will spend 6 out of 8 hours, and then use the rest of the 2 to cut down the tree, to chop down the tree. So what does that mean? Preparation is the key to excellence. Preparation is the key to greatness. Preparation is the key to advancement in life. Now, everybody is seeing me. They hear me now because when I preach on this, I hear a lot of thank you, compliments, and great words. People are saying that you are so effortlessly, you are just talking, you are just saying so many things and so intensive every day. I mean, coming with all these topics, different kind of things. And that, where is it coming from? It's like I came from nowhere. But what people who know me know that I've been in preparation for 30 years for today. The past 30 years of my life has been preparation for what you are seeing today. So 30 years I was not lying somewhere. All these things that is coming out of me now, they have been in me, in going for, even though they are natural to me, some of them. But without the preparation, I would not be as effective, and I would not be as sharp and as productive as I am today. And you would not see the difference so glaringly in comparison to others, because I'm not the only speaker in the world. A lot of people are speaking every day. I'm not the only pastor in the world, a lot of pastors, but preparation is the key. It's like what Abraham Lincoln said. 8 hours to the time when you chop down the tree, 6 hours to prepare for it. So I've had 30 years of preparation, and the rest of my life now will be real ministry. So preparation is the key to your success. Preparation is the key to your excellence. To be prepared means to make yourself ready beforehand, before the task, before the work. So when I begin to talk about Nigeria, that I'm going to Nigeria and I'm taking 2,000 people with me, people are scared. People don't know what I'm talking about. They're like, wow, is that possible? Well, and how is that? When they hear my dream and the things I want to do, they say, how can this man be talking like this? What is he trying to do? I mean, it's not possible. Well, the preparation I've gone through in the past 30 years makes it possible for me. Jesus also went through his preparation for 30 years. So preparation is getting ready beforehand for a purpose, or for a use, or for some activities. And failing to prepare, somebody is writing, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Yes. I mean, look at Olympics. I sometimes have a few minutes in a day to look at the Olympics going on. I mean, the difference between the gold medal and the silver medal is preparation. The difference between gold medal, silver medal, and bronze medal, and the people who don't get anything at all is preparation. When you talk about my country, Nigeria, they have been complaining. Everybody is praying. Prayer doesn't help when you get to the Olympics. Prayer doesn't help. The people who don't pray but prepare are the ones who win the medals. They might be atheists, they might be communists, they might be Buddhists, they might be anything. Prayer doesn't play much role. What plays the big role is preparation. Now, prayer can play a role only when two people are equally as prepared. Then you two put your trust in God. Then prayer could make the difference. But if you are not equally prepared, if you are not on that level yet, God wonders will not happen. I mean, you know, I listen to my people from my country who are going to the Olympics, and the journalists. The journalists are always talking, by the grace of God we believe. I just say these people are just crazy. This is a crazy country. And we have to go there and change the mindset of that whole country. They say, we have been praying for them, we are believing. By the grace of God, they will bring something. Rubbish. Rubbish. I mean, you know, Nigerians will be going, instead of going for training, they will be going for prayer meeting. What's wrong with you? Are you joking? You know, this is a law on the earth. It is only people who are prepared that win the medals. It's only people who are prepared that win the medals. The same thing with industry. When it comes to the earth, you don't need God to be successful. I always say this and people get scared. I say, oh, why is he saying? Yes, when it comes to life on earth, quote me, you don't need God to be successful. God is just a bonus when it comes to success on earth. God is only extra. It's only extra edge, that's all. God, you don't need God here on earth, planet earth, to be successful. Quote me anywhere and let the religious people come after me. But it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. That's just a fact. God has created the earth in such a way that everything is supposed to function for your good. In fact, God has submitted the earth to the mandate and operation and the rulership of man. God is taking care of the things on the earth, in heavens, and he said the earth he has given to the control of man. So, you know, your religiosity and the spirit of religion is what is killing our continent and our country. All that religiosity that says that you cannot do anything without God is what is making us to be backward and ineffective. You can, when it comes to the earth, you can do basically everything without God. When it comes to the earth. But you cannot go to heaven without God. That's the only difference. The guy who is successful on the earth and who is able to do everything on the earth, if he doesn't receive the Christ, if he doesn't get to know God, he will go to hell, even though he's successful on the earth. But on the other hand, the guy who is praying on the earth, who is praying to God every day, and doesn't know, he doesn't have skills and is not developing his skills, he will be a failure on the earth, even though he will go to heaven. So, you know, I just don't know how to help religious people. I don't know how to help religious people. Religious people are a different breed. They are a different breed. I just don't know how to help them. I just don't know how to help them. Yeah, Shur Andrew is quoting it in Russian language to me here, that God has given heaven to God, and he has given the earth to man. Yes, yes. That is Psalm 115. Psalm 115 verse 13, I think. So yeah, so the earth is the heavens is the Lord, but the earth he has given to the sons of men. Yeah, that's just the way we are supposed to function. You either like it or you don't like it, it's your own headache. But people who don't know God have been successful in this world. If you live in Europe, how many of those people living in Europe do you know that you know they are successful because of their prayers? How many of them? Have you ever heard of Dubai? Have you ever heard of Dubai? Do you think they pray to Jesus from morning to night? What about Saudi Arabia? They have the highest standard of living in the world. Actually, the country with the highest standard of living right now is Qatar. Qatar. Do you think they know Jesus? Do you think they read the Bible so well? Or they do all Holy Ghost service and night vigil. That's why they are having so much such a high sticker. Have you been to Japan? Is it is it because they have the biggest churches in the world? That's why Japan is one of the leading countries in the world. Or Chinese, they are communists. They even put Christians in prison. They hate Christians. They have the largest economy right now. Or the guys who are winning on the medals, or Thomas Edison, the light, the bulb that you have in your house. Do you think he's a believer? He doesn't even believe. He doesn't recognize God at all. The computer that you are using to watch me right now, Steve Jobs, he was a Buddhist. He left Christianity to Buddhism. And if you are using another computer, Bill Gates, he says, I don't even see the sense in God at all. Everything you are enjoying were created by people who don't even believe there is need for God at all. So when it comes to the earth, God has already created everything and said everything is good and perfect. Everything is good and perfect. God has already put everything on the earth for you to function. So why do we need God then? Why do you need God then? We need God so that we'll have the extra, we will go to heaven first of all. We need God mainly in heaven. So go to heaven. Number two, we need God because He's our maker. We are His product. We are from Him. We need Him to be sustained. We sustain ourselves by true relationship with Him, but not to be successful. We need God because we want to live in our spirit man, but not to be successful on the earth. To be successful on the earth, also you might need God, but just to give you the extra edge for you to be able to see further than ordinary people, other successful people who are ordinary people, for you to be able to see in the spirit and what other people have not seen. But not all Christians who believe in God can see in the spirit realm. The only people who are close to God can see in the spirit realm. So that's another topic. I've already dealt with that topic already. I will not go back to it today. Anyway, you need preparation. So it doesn't matter. The reason I started talking about this is because of our Nigeria Olympic team. With the Nigeria Olympic team, the way, everybody is praying. The whole country is praying for them. I feel like taking a cane, flog, and go and flog all our Nigerian pastors and journalists and all those people, telling them. Some people are going, before they go to Olympics, they are going to get anointing, holy oil and anointing on their head. Some of them are going to night vigil. In fact, some of the team, when they go to competition, World Cup and all that, they put a pastor and the imam there to be praying for them. And they go and lose. Religion has blinded the African continent. It has just turned us into zombie. And when I talk like this, they say I am blaspheming. Thank God I'm a pastor. So they know this. Thank God it's not an atheist that is talking, or an Islamist. They will think he's because he's an unbeliever. But because we don't know how to balance God. We don't know how to balance God. We don't know how to even understand the Bible in the first place. So for you to be successful, it doesn't matter how you pray. It doesn't matter how long you pray. It doesn't matter how many imams anoint you. It doesn't matter how many bishops you gather together. It's just like yesterday, the other day, somebody was telling me that all the bishops, our president, my friend, the vice president of my country, went and gathered all the GOs of Nigeria, all GOs, that is general overseer, the senior pastors of Nigeria, gathered them together in Lake, I think in Abuja, so that they will pray for the economy of the Nigeria. I said, wow, they should go and learn from Singapore. How many prayer meetings they did in the palace before Singapore became from the third one to the first one. They should go and learn from Dubai, the premier of Dubai, the sheikh of Dubai. How many prayer meetings, how many night meetings he did before he could build the wonders of the world in Japan. In Dubai. They should go. And I told the people who told me that I guarantee you nothing will change. This year, nothing will change in Nigeria's economy. That's why I can guarantee you. I can go sleep and prophet. I don't even need to be a prophet. I can prophesy that nothing will change in Nigeria's economy. It will change, but after 3 years minimum. Because I know the caliber of people that are in the government. I believe in some of them, and things will change because they are working hard. But that prayer they are doing is a waste of time. And all the big men, our fathers in the Lord are there. I don't want to mock them, and I'm not laughing at them, you know, but I'm just baffled. I'm just totally baffled and shocked at what is happening. I mean, these men of God are men that I respect, and they are professors, some of them. Some of them are bright mind. But religion, how can we be using religion? It's just like saying, somebody say you have cancer. Somebody say you have cancer, and then you are taking what is rub? Vaccine, you know, not vaccine, what do you call it? No, just cream. They say you have cancer and you are taking cream to rub yourself. Cream. Cancer. Cream is for beauty, and you are using cream to rub yourself to heal you of cancer. It's a different medication for a sickness now. For you to excel on earth, though, you need preparation, adequate preparation. So just like with the Olympics, you need preparation. You need preparation. You need preparation to. Everybody became so quiet in my. If you guys see my something, everybody is quiet. No life. Everybody is very quiet now. They think I'm blaspheming. They think God is going to strike me dead right now. No like, no something. Everybody is just quiet because I touched the holies of religion. You know, we need to get delivered from religiosity. We need to get delivered. If Nigeria and Africa is to go forward at all, we need to get delivered from religiosity. Until we get delivered from religion, we will not know Christ. Because there is a big difference between religion and knowing Christ. In fact, I must release my book very fast. On our independence, what independence are we having now? 56?
56, yes, sir.
56 independence. Yes, somebody is just commenting at last, using Vaseline to heal cancer. That is exactly what we are doing. We are using Vaseline to heal cancer. So anyway, on the Independence Day of our country, I'm going to make it worse. What you are hearing from me now is nothing compared to when you wait for my book to come out. My book is, make you write them down. Write my book down now. My book is going to be called Only God Can Save Nigeria. What a myth. What a myth. Only God that can save Nigeria? What a myth. It's going to be a whole book I'm going to write on this topic. So you think I'm blaspheming God right now? Or I'm blaspheming the church or the man of God? You wait till the book comes out. It's going to be put in printing. And it's going to be printed. And it's going to be released in Nigeria. Even Satan cannot stop it from being released. Even Satan cannot stop that book from being released. It's going to be released. And it's going to go viral. Because I must set my country free from religious addiction. I must set the continent free. I must set my people free. People have used it in our country. So the same thing that footballers are doing, that's the same thing ministers are doing. Government ministers. Of course, if you want to make a political point by just going to call GOs or pastors or senior pastors to pray, that's a political statement. But don't say it's because of that prayer that miracle will happen. Or don't say it's because of that prayer that the economy will change. You've got to use the laws of economy. You've got to use the laws of economy for economy to change. You've got to put the rules, the economic principles in place for the economy to change. You've got to have right policies for economy to change. You've got to look for ways of getting foreign reserves or foreign exchange for economy to change. You've got to produce products for economy to change. You've got to create conducive environment for economy to change. You've got to produce services for economy to change. It's not by praying economy changes. It's not by praying development comes. It's not by praying progress comes in a nation. It is ludicrous. It's a national shame that my country has been reduced to a country where people pray that the economy will grow. I either laugh or I cry. That's the thing. I feel like I either both crying and laughing at the same time. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like both crying. I've finished my topic. I don't think I can preach again. This Nigeria, this Olympic thing has taught me. Nigerian mentality has taught me. I have to deal with religion. Please be telling them if you want to know the truth. Begin to get ready right now. Begin to get ready for that my book. That my book is going to come out very soon. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. And if I don't care if you're going to love me after that or you're going to hate me, I don't care. But the truth must be told. Until we deliver our country from religion, nothing will happen. There will be no progress. Oh, there is somebody right here told me, she does say, David, I live in Dubai. And I know that so-called Muslims believe that they need God's help to actualize the dreams and intentions. You see, if we believe that the Muslims don't even have real God, right? No matter what they do, we don't even believe that God is hearing them. What about we that God is hearing? So if God is not hearing them, so how are they doing the progress? Because they are using their mind. For you to be successful on the earth, it's not God you need, it's your mind you need. It's your skills you need. God has already put everything on the earth and in you to be successful. So you need God, not because you need something from God, but because you want to honor Him for what He has already given you. But you want to worship Him for what you already have in Him. You want to have relationship with Him because it's your Savior, it's your nature, you are His product, you are His son and His child. You want, as a father and son, you want to just have relationship with your Father. If you who are parents, how much will you like your children just to be relating with you because they need something from you? But they need to relate with you because they are your children. They need to relate with you because, they love you. That's how it should be with God. Not because we need Him to do one Christ to get us out of one crisis or the other. We have the problem. Nigeria had the problem with the football team. The football team. Nigeria football team was stranded in Atlanta or somewhere. Till the last moment. They actually left the Atlanta, I think only about 7 or 9 hours before their first game. So, that's when they arrived. Sorry, they arrived at the venue of the Olympics 7 hours before their first game. And then, they were supposed to have left a week before. And they left it to the last moment. So when they get to the plane, the first thing they were doing? They were praying. Praying and thanking God for providing, for sending the plane, for getting them out of there at last. I say it's not praying, you should be flogging. All your administrations are supposed to be getting flogged, spanked. Of course you will pray because you are leaving everything for the last moment. If you have left a week ago, you don't need to pray for miracle that God should send a plane. If the plane had come a week ago, you would have done everything you need to do on time. You don't need to be praying for miracles now. We are praying for miracles because we don't do our own part. We don't use the mind God has given unto us. We don't do the things on time. We don't use the laws of God, the principles of God. We want to manipulate God by all means. But God cannot be manipulated, you see. God cannot be manipulated. So we didn't do what we need to do with the economy in Nigeria. We didn't fix our economy. We went and ate all the food of the economy. We wasted the money of Nigeria, in the last 10 years, on the last 15 years of Nigerian economy. We wasted it, corrupted the whole thing, shopped the money, ate, corrupted the whole, and now we are praying to God. We are now asking God to come and deliver. God will not cover up for corruption. That's why I'm laughing at what those OGO people are doing. God is not going to cover up for our corruption, for our irresponsibility. God is not going to cover up our irresponsibility. God is not going to cover up our lack of sense of our ignorance. God is not going to cover for our ignorance. That is medicine after death. So for we now to begin to say God should now come and heal our economy and do, we have to pay the price. We've got to go through the pain. We need to learn our lesson. Well, I'm sorry if I offended any one of you, but I don't know how I got there, but you wait till my book comes out. I'm going to offend more of you by the grace of God. I'm advertising the book already. You look out for it. I think I'm going to release that book. I thought I was going to release it in October towards the President. I think I will release it 1 month before, so that you will succeed in reading it first before the independence, so that your eyes will be open. You will know that we are in problem until we deliver our country, Africa and Nigeria, from the addiction of religion. And addiction of religion, we would not be set free. We would never understand. We would never understand. Undergo development. We would never know what development is. I'm sorry that I have to say this right, on air, but why not? We have to say it. We have to say it. We just need to be organized. We don't need to use principles, the laws. Life is predictable if you use laws. I have a whole series on how to run the world, and the world is run by laws and principles. If you follow the laws and principles, you will get anything you will need, and everything will work out for you. You don't need witches and wizards, or you don't even need Satan or God even. God has already made all the provision for you to be successful without Him. So for you now to believe in Him is because you love Him, because it's your choice. But if you are believing in God because you need some things, it's paganism. It's paganism. If you are going to God just because you need Him to give you bread and butter, because you need Him to provide for your school fees, or you need to provide, that's paganism. You are actually running after your own needs. You are running after your own desires. You are using God. You are using God. You are not going to God because you love Him. You don't love Him. You are using Him for your own purpose. You are after your own ideas, for your own gains. And that's why we begin to use God like a 9119, 911 or whatever, 991 or 911. Okay, Shidirim said, I need the series on how to run the world. Yes, how to run the world the series is called Life is Predictable. That series is you can go to my blog, SundayAdelajahblog.com, SundayAdelajahblog.com, and go and look for the series. The week is a whole week series that says Life is Predictable. Life is predictable. So if you go and look for the video blog, or if video is too expensive for you, you can go and look daily broadcast. So daily broadcast or video blog, you will see all the series there. Is one of the earliest one I did. So go down to the very first ones, then you will see the series on Life is Predictable. And then you could, if it's difficult for you to get it on my blog, you could go to my Facebook. On my YouTube page. YouTube page is also Sunday Adelaja Official. You can go to the video blog playlist. Go to the playlist of video blog or Daily Word or something. I think the video blog is called. Then you will be able to look through it and find what you need there. Okay, let me read what you have. Please go and share the link. I'm not afraid for the link to get to the hand of people who will curse me and call death on me. Let it go to them. So go and share the link. Go and share the link. Go and share the link. Let's go and share the link as fast as possible while I read your comments, okay? Okay, Shidirim said it's in the US. Oh, then you don't have any problem with the video. Go and download it, yes. Emmanuel Anishebe said, Nigeria is in darkness. Only God can deliver us. No, not God. Not God. That's exactly what I said about my book. It's not God that's going to deliver us. Emmanuel, that's exactly why I wrote the book. The book is called Only God can save Nigeria. It's a myth. It's a myth that it's only God that can deliver us. No. Not God, men. Men are in charge of the earth. Men are supposed to run the earth, not God. Leave God alone from this business. Make you leave God alone, though. God don't give you the mind. God don't give you the heart. God don't give you the intelligence, the laws for you to run your earth. I mean, to run the world and your nation. You think it's God that is running Dubai? Or it's God that is running Saudi Arabia? It's God that is running Singapore? It's God that is running UK? It's God that is running America? The people running these countries, they are human beings like you, my friend. Not only God can save Nigeria. No. That's why I wrote the book. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to take some time before it gets to you guys. The series of How to Run the World is called Life is Predictable. Life is Predictable. If you go to the video blog, you see the playlist there. You will see Life is Predictable is the series. Okay, who is there now? Shola Ojewusi said, our entire mindset must be transformed then. Oh yes, of course. That's exactly why I'm here. I'm here to transform the whole mindset of a country. That is what this transformation is all about. We have to change first. You added that you said, my pastor, I salute you. Thank you. But we've got to change. If we don't change our mindset, nothing changes. We cannot change our country without changing our mindset. We need to change our mindset first. Until we change our mindset, nothing will change. Nikki Christian said, you are born with unique strengths. They may seem invisible and useless to you, but I assure you 100% they are visible to others and people need them. When you allow your gifts and talents to surface, you will realize how much you can contribute and how they will be a perfect way to earn your living. You will excel naturally. You have a choice. Ooh, that's a lot. Yes. That's for the message. That's concerning the message I just preached. Basil says, most of our pastors in Nigeria twist the Bible. Politicians, godfatherism, and corruptions are the order of the day. Seeking his kingdom first is forever worth it. The true purpose. Yes. Ufoma Anigoro said, you are speaking the truth, sir. I am angry that our leaders are silent and using prayers as a pretense instead of addressing the issues and teaching principles. We are supposed to be the salt of the earth, yet Nigeria is wasting away without preservation despite all the churches in there. Well, I'm going to Nigeria. That's exactly why I'm going to Nigeria. We are going to fix it. I and the people and we and you, we are going to be the Moses that is going to fix the country. I'm going to Nigeria for that purpose. Onyinye Okoro said the worst is that they manipulate with God. Yes. By the way, there is somebody that is watching me right now that is having growth or cancer of the breast. God wants to heal you. God has spoken this to me 3 times since this program has been going on. So if you have a problem in your breast, put your hand there. God is healing you right now. And someone else just had operation in your jaw, somewhere in your jaw here. You just have that operation, and I don't think it's effective. It's successful. There is a problem that's still going on there. So put on your hand there. God is healing your place. Joseph Shukwudi said, we know the truth as a nation, my dear man of God, but we also know that the best way to cover our corruption as a nation is to use the cover up of religion. There is wisdom there. Agama said, thank you, sir, but that only God can save Nigeria. That is what we are taught in our church here. Well, we have to be taught again. Larry Wajuboli says, it's okay, we need the offense. It pokes at the root of the disease. Tommy Yashido said, David said, please, I would like to read the book. I have always thought that without prayers, my work on earth is useless. No. No. You need that book. Yes, by the grace of God, the book will come out in September. By the grace of God, the book will come out in September. But you could begin to read some of my books already. I have one book on Nigeria that's called Nigeria and the Leadership Question. That might help. And Church Shift is another book that you might want to read. That could help you as well. So those are some of them. And then there's another one that I just released last week. It's called Who Am I? Who Am I? Samuel Kalu said, most likely those bishops and GOs left with Ghana must go back of money. Why is he praying for the economy to get better? Nkem Dick said, truth has to be told. Most of the men of God aren't bold enough to speak this truth. Tina Stevens said, Pastor, don't worry about upsetting anyone. They need to change. Agama said, if that is the truth, then we can't be angry. Elizabeth said, I'm not offended, sir. Okay? David Taiwo said, I feel like crying for this truth that I'm hearing. Angie Opera said, that's very correct, sir. Onyeye Okoro said, we need real people like you that operate with principles. Thank you, sir. Apostle Yomi says on our deep way, I believe there is a lot of ignorance in the body of Christ in Nigeria. Most men of God are reluctant to confront it openly like you are doing. I salute your courage and boldness because at least someone is being prepared by God to tackle this ignorance. Harry Okenzo, I say, more grace to you, sir. Elizabeth says, 100% true, sir. Some people treat God like a marketplace. You go when you need food stuff in your house. Oh, wow. Wow. Sheikh Anyo said, we shy from real work and try to use gimmicks in the name of prayers. Landewaju said, that's lack of knowledge. It's a fundamental flaw. Religion and politics are intermingled to repress the creative preparation and accountability demanded by us. Yeah. Pastor, thank you that you are God sent to me. I'm ready to get down to work. Wonderful, wonderful. If we all get back to work, we are going to save our country. Lola Shorumke said, the key is for me. The key for me is to invest in prayer, continual communication with God, preparation through added value to self and action till the project is manifested on the earth. Yeah. Basil says, moderation will forever remain the answer in all that we, because death comes around at any time, but our government is... Jacob Saleh said, I feel you, sir. Agama said, true talk. Onye said, Pastor, I'm ready for the book. Koyejo Uduola said, yes, the point was very well classified in previous talks about prayer, not the religious prayers. Yes, yes. If you want to know more about what I mean, that, the kind of prayers that we need to pray, what is prayer, and why we don't need to pray for Nigeria economy, and why we don't need to pray that God will save Nigeria, why it's not God that's going to save Nigeria. Yeah, Koye is right, that the topic is well specified. I dealt with it very well on the series on prayer. If you have not gone through the series on prayer, you might need to go through that series. That series will really open your eyes to know what is religious prayer and real prayer and relationship with God. So you can go to, again, you can go to my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com, and go to the series on prayers. That will really help you. Or you can get it on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. Samuel Kalu says, someone asked, since heaven is God's abode and Satan the God of this world, do we need Satan then to make it here? We need deliverance from religious addiction. Yeah, we need deliverance. Shola Ojewusi said, no, praying before the football or before game is not a blasphemous. But what about if we pray not to be injured during games? Wow! Shola, wow! Let's talk about that. You want to tell me you've never seen any Nigerian player injured? And despite the prayer? You know, we never go to play without praying. And do you want to tell me that no one of them has ever been injured? In fact, I can tell you right now, the one who is the highest scorer in Nigerian team is right now lying down injured. He played 2 games and he got knocked down. You know, don't tell me those things. These are national laws. These are national things. You want to tell me that those guys who pray don't get injured? No, don't tell me those stories. Don't tell me those stories. We are living in physical world and physical laws operate here. Okay, Tommy Shidoze David said, please explain very well regarding the point you just made. You see, the whole day will not be enough for me to do that. Tommy, I beg you, go and find my series on prayer. I have a whole series on prayer, all right? I have a whole series on prayer that is saying why it is a waste of time, what is a waste of time to pray about, and what do we need to pray about, what do we don't need to pray about. So it is on my blog, sundayadelajablog.com. I'm there, and you can go and see the video blog or the daily broadcast, and look there in the playlist. You will see the one on prayer, or you could go to YouTube and see the one on prayer. Kemi Knight say, preach, Pastor, I agree 100%. Religion has turned so many people to silly. Charles Smith say, using Vaseline to cure cancer is funny. Wow. Elizabeth and Lisa, Pastor, some of them need koboko. Koboko in our language means spanking. Larry Waju says, religious bondage distorts our intelligence. Yes. Sam Olashain, they say, can God reveal your calling to you in a dream? Oh yeah, of course, that's possible. But you don't wait for dreams, you look for it in yourself. Wayimi John Ebobo says, sir, thank you very much, sir. Nigeria is the starting point. The religious city spreads all over Africa, even right here in Ghana. Well, we need to set up the whole continent free, right? Magnolia says, amen, it's a lot of work to do to deliver the work from darkness. Yep. Oyinye said, I always pray for you and your family. God has sent you at this time. God bless you so that they will not kill me. Nobody can kill me, don't worry. If you feel like praying, make you pray, but don't worry about that. Well. It's nice to be with you guys. Time is over now. Time is up. I'm sorry. I hope you got the message though before I went to Nigeria issue. I'm just passionate about my country and Africa. But I think I made the point about preparation. For you to discover your calling. You just listen to the message again. It will help you. And but it was nice to be with you guys. Look out for that book. That book is going to cause some movement over there. The book is called Nigeria, Only God Can Save Nigeria, What a Myth. Only God Can Save Nigeria, What a Myth. It's not yet released. It's going to be released in September. So look out for it. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll be back again. 7 o'clock 7:30 Nigerian time, 7:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m. British time, 2:30 a.m. American time, Eastern time. And then in the evening, I'll be back again. 2 p.m. American time, that's Eastern time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time and British time. So God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Hello everyone, good morning. Shegun Fatumo, how are you today? Tokumbo, hello, good morning. Baby Doom, what is that picture? Interesting. Nkem, hi. Bosse, Famo Happy, Paul Eric, Joti Dowu, Tina Steven, Marshall Esong, Ojekwa Israel, hi. Emily Edoko, Rochelle White, Tiger Diepre, Rochelle White say, good morning, Pastor Sunday. You are one of the best investments of my life. From the other side of the world, from New Zealand. You are in New Zealand and I'm here and I'm the best investment of your life. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm happy. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Thank you. Nana Kalu say, Pastor, you are looking good. Are you sure? Oh no, I look ordinary. I think I just look ordinary. I tried to come here, just look as simple as I could. Abayomi, Apostle Abayomi Onadikwe, Gab Guevara, Guevara. It's not Guevara, it's Guevara. Okay. Guevara. Okay, Right, I got it now. Guevara. Hello, Elizabeth. How is Kenya? Ovi Dominic, Okoli Emeka. Hello, Lindu Eric. Fumi Adewusi, Ladi Shorunke, Bola Luro, Jacob Sali is here. Lola Shorunke, Abhishek Jason from India, Nalon Adebayo, Ireland, Mayowa Adenekan, I don't know where he's from, Aline Paradise, Shioma Ugudi, Kazim Ahmed, Winifred Akpan, Nosa Favor, Esther Kuganja, Rafi Akala, Beraket Tekle, Fumi Jeboda, Shao Smith, Famo Happy, David Otori, Jake Hockey. David Otori is asking me to post my email address. You write it. I said it that you write. I don't post. You write. It's pastor@godembassy.org. pastor@godembassy.org. If you cannot write that, then I wonder what you can do. So you write that. That's simple enough to write. Anojo, good morning. Akinlabi Abo Obasanjo. Wow. Good morning. Is that Obasanjo of our president? Our former president? Maybe not. Olukayode Kundayo, good morning. Well, yeah, we're ready to go. So nice to see all of you here this morning, and I hope today you got notification. Yesterday people didn't get notification. I hope some of you got notification today. Ike Amadi is back. Wow. Okay. Well, here we go, and it will be nice to have you go and share the link. Just let's quickly go and share the link before we continue. Look for your share button. Let's go share the link, please. Let's go share the link. Once we share the link, we'll be ready to go. So look for your share button. Look for your share button. And we'll be ready to go. All right. Have you all shared the link? As everybody shared, once you've shared it, then we can take off from there. You see, this week we're still continuing to talk about calling. We are still continuing to talk about calling, how to help you discover your calling, how to help you discover who you are. While you are here on the earth, what God sent you here for. And the topic for today is your calling is in what you can do without noticing time. That looks simple, isn't it? Your calling is in what you can do without noticing time. Are there some things that you can do without noticing time? I'm not like saying, this is not talking about, you know what people do, especially when we were young, and we used to say, oh, I'm looking for how to whine away time. Let's just go and play somewhere. Let's whine away some time. Let's whine away time. This point I'm making today is not about whining away time. Anybody can do stupid stuff. Anybody can be foolish. Anybody can spend time foolishly and just, unthoughtfully. Anybody can be unthoughtful. Anybody can be stupid. Anybody can be foolish. Anybody can just spend their time and whine it away and kill the time. That's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about being the ability to be so engulfed in serious matters without even minding the time. So your calling is in whatever you are able to go into, devote your time into, immerse yourself into so much, so deep that you don't even care for the time, you don't care for how long you are there, how many hours has passed, and how long your time there. When you just immerse yourself into something serious that you are so caught up with it that it takes all your time, that maybe you only have time to eat and to go to the restroom. Otherwise, you are just so busy. And that is not, let me start by telling you some of the wonderful stories that I like in this way. And I never thought that this would ever happen to me, but you know what? I'm moving more and more to that lifestyle myself. There is a story that is told of Thomas Edison, but not just Thomas Edison, but let me start with the story of George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver is one of the greatest inventors in the world that has ever lived. In fact, he's my own greatest inventor. Thanks to George Washington Carver, I got to know the secrets of invention. And that's why I'm so convinced that I can invent. And inventing it's not a big deal. George Washington Carver is a black man, a son of a slave, who was actually a slave himself, a former slave, and who sent himself to school, got himself educated in a very dramatic situation in America. But that slave boy was eventually to be the one to rescue the economy of the southern part of the South in America, southern part of America. So instead of going to gather all the GOs of America to do conference and prayer meetings in the stadium, when the economy of America hit a bottom low, because there was a law that cancelled slavery, and when they let all the slaves go, there was nobody to work on the fields, and only a few people, so there was nothing to do. The economy just collapsed, and then also the cotton business just dropped because the slaves were producing the cotton. So, and the cotton was the source of the economy, was the backbone of the economy of the South. Just like Nigeria now, when this backbone of the economy is oil. And so now it's just like the same similar situation when the economy is going down because they couldn't produce cotton anymore. There was no demand for cotton, and of course there was also mechanization. There was industrialization was coming, so people They didn't need to, so a lot of changes were happening in the economy. Just like with our country, Nigeria, when the oil is no more selling, they cannot produce enough. The militants are, bumping everything, and there is no income, there is no revenue. One single man saved the economy of America. One single man. And that single man was a black man. Can you imagine right now with the situation Nigeria is going through, that one person will come and bring about an invention that will bring the same amount of money that we are making in oil, or even more money than with oil. Can you imagine somebody doing that? And the invention he came up with was granite. He used granite to produce more money than cotton, than, like we say, oil can produce. One man. He was led by the Spirit. He was so close to God, friendly with the Holy Spirit. And he was a ferocious inventor, thinker. He was innovator. Was a great man. Go and read the story of George Washington Carver. He was something else. So he was producing from granite alone, I think, close to 400 different products. 400 different products from granite. It's unbelievable. 400 different products. And he just used that to revolutionize the economy of the South. And that's how American economy survived the Depression. Because of one man. And we are in Nigeria, we have 170 million people. But instead of us to tell them to go to the library and to go to the laboratories and go and do invention and innovation and go and lock themselves up in the library and laboratories, we tell our people to go lock themselves up in the church or in the stadium with a bunch of other people. To go to just be praying and praying and praying. And, it's not bad to pray, but what do you do? What is the result of the prayer? What do you do after the prayer? This man also was a praying man. He was a man of God. One of the greatest Christian inventors you ever hear about. And he was a praying man. He was a believer, strong believer. And he did everything through his relationship with the Holy Spirit. But, today, they just tell us to pray and wait for God to come and do it. And that was the difference between the praying men of those days and praying men of today. The people who prayed that time, they prayed and went out from the place of prayer to go and do it, what they have prayed about, to go and perform it, to go and make the miracle happen. They are not waiting for God to make the miracle happen. Well, that's not what I wanted to tell you about George Washington Carver. The story about George Washington Carver is this. The man was such a workaholic, even though he was a Christian. So this is a departure from a lot of what Christians are doing today. That you just pray, God will make a way, or you don't need to work hard, or one day of favor is better than 12 days or 2 years of labor or something. Some funny quotations, some funny, indolent thoughts and sayings that Christians have come up with, that one day of favor is better than 10 years of labor. If you don't labor, you don't get any products, you don't get any reward, you don't get any results, you don't get any products. You need time to produce any products, you need time to produce any service, you need time to do quality, you need time to be able to do anything competitive, you need time to be able to produce anything worthwhile. Anyway, so what you remember the topic of today is that your calling is in whatever you can do, whatever you are doing, that you could immerse yourself so much in that you don't even remember the time. Whatever it is that could take your time, so that you could put yourself in, that you could immerse yourself in, that you could so much immerse yourself into and dedicate yourself to be doing something constructive and productive, to the extent that you don't notice time. So whatever you can do without noticing time is your calling. Whatever you can do without noticing time is your calling. whatever you can do without noticing time. So that's why I started to talk to you about, George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver is one of my big loves. It's one of the loves of my life. I cannot get tired reading about him. I cannot get tired reading about him. It's my love story.